Yerk! Let's go! Welcome into the Chemistry Podcast, episode number
339, baby. Yoink, let's go.
Let's do it.
He is risen.
Okay. You don't need to start it off like
He
that
did,
because it's
though.
very offensive.
How's that offensive?
Because a lot of people look at the Easter holiday as a very sacred holiday, very religious
He is
holiday.
risen.
Very religious holiday.
And it shouldn't be he has risen,
No, he is risen.
but he did rise. He
Mhm.
did rise.
From
know.
yeah, he did rise. How many years ago was that?
About 2000.
2000?
About 2000.
It's not as long as I thought it was.
It's not at all. 2,000 years in the grand scheme of things is nothing.
You ever like hang out with a person who's like, they're all fucked up, like everything about them is just like, and then they'll be like, I got church in the morning.
Andy, that is so funny you bring that
I
up.
mean, I'm like, dude, like like, I don't understand. Like, you don't live your life for like the religious purposes, but then you're telling me you're going to church tomorrow?
Andy.
You just cheated on your wife.
I'm
You just fucking
just going to say
like,
that.
Like you just did whatever you did in the bathroom.
And then you listen to Joel Osteen, and I'm like, I remember this guy, man. He came around my house, and he's fucking talking about that and bagging pussy and bagging blah, 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 blah.
I've got church in the morning.
I got to go to church, and then and we brought up Joel Osteen, and he's like, I really into him. I go, what? You are? You just said that you with Joel Osteen,
Yeah.
and then he like not bring people in during a fucking hurricane back down, down there. He's worth like $500 million. Like maybe he spreads a good message, but it's funny how these guys, man, they say all that fucking party and they're cheating, doing all this.
Yeah.
Like I'm with Jesus.
I've got church tomorrow.
I got church. I got to go to church.
Yeah, but Joel Osteen is not like the Christian people I grew up around. Like people aren't listening to him, except for like.
They were where
No,
I grew up.
I know, but he's like
We're
way
by the
more-
Bible Belt, dude.
He's commercialized.
Yeah.
He sells
People
out
love him.
stadiums. He
People love
steals
him.
money. He flies in $70 million jets.
How about the other guy too? The scary looking demon guy.
Oh,
You know
he's
how-
always holding the Bible.
And he's got that COVID song that
Yeah.
they dubbed next to him. He's
Yeah.
who is the guy with the scary eyes? He's like this, the Lord. And you're like,
I like him
he
more.
looks
though.
like Satan.
If I had a choice, I'd go to his game over Olstein's game.
He
If they came to a stadium, I'd go to his.
He looks
his
like
show.
the devil.
He does.
He does. His eyes look like
no,
the
he
devil.
is.
And then they
he'll
go-
touch you on your forehead.
I'm like, oh God, he's scary. Like, no wonder he put you in a trance, probably. You know what I mean? And then like some lady went up to him at his house, and they're like, "Why are you flying private? Don't you do it?" And he looked at her like, "Woman, I'm gonna get you."
No.
Yes.
Really? That's what he
I'm
said
gonna
to
drag
her?
you down to the depths of it.
Oh,
No, he
okay.
didn't-
Well,
no, no,
now
no.
you're
He didn't- no, no,
embellishing.
no.
He didn't say
He didn't
that.
say that, but he looked at her like he stood up like this, and his eyes went crazy. I'm like, God, look that mug up.
I gotta know his
Look that
name.
mug up right
so,
quick. What's his name, Matt? Do you know? Who's this scary-looking preacher with the demon eyes? You'll know who I'm talking about. Scary-looking son-bitch.
But
We gotta say his name because this is ridiculous.
well, Tammy Faye Baker is who I grew up with. Remember her?
Weren't they banging? Were they
remember
doing
her?
things?
Remember?
What's that? Oh, Kenneth Copeland. There you go, right
Kenneth
there, baby.
Copeland.
Check that bad boy out.
Tammy
Scary.
Faye Baker. She was married to. Because a lot of people did
Some
like
dude, yeah.
her. She was married to. Why am I forgetting his name?
Dude, we're bad at that. Sorry, everybody. Doesn't matter. We're chilling. We're gonna talk hockey, baby. We got Mike Johnson
Jim
coming
Baker.
on. Jim Baker. I didn't get into
He
them,
was-
but were they banging
yeah.
some
No,
other
I don't
people?
think so.
Was she getting fucked?
She was like crying. Her makeup would be all over the
Yeah,
place
tons of
whenever
makeup.
she'd start crying. She'd always be crying.
Did they embezzle money? Did they
I
cheat on their
think they
taxes?
may have done
or were they
something.
fucking other couples or
something
something?
illegal?
Okay.
Something.
There's always-
scandalous.
It's just I had never looked up to anybody like that too much.
So listen, I've been around all the different religions, and Easter's a very, very important holiday to a lot of people. So hope everybody had a great Easter yesterday.
It's
and
raining like a son bitch.
Here it was.
Son bitch.
We still had an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, I saw. Listen, I know exactly what goes on at Andy's house. All you gotta do is look up Lori on Facebook. I mean, even Kate asked me, "Does Andy celebrate Easter?" I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "I know how to find out." And we look at all the pictures of Lori said, which I love, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Like your family puts a smile on my face.
kinda
I swear to
It's
God.
kind of chirping, but you
It's-
sound like my
No.
like my oldest daughter.
They are cute
She'll
as hell.
be like, all right, I'm gonna go. I will pick up some eggs, but you are not to take any pictures of me and post anything like that. Like,
Good for her.
Yeah, she's like, stop. No, you can't post me.
To your mom, to her mom, so to Lori,
To
she's
my
like,
wife, yeah.
Good for her.
So my 14-year-old, like, she's like, you can't post
Stop
me.
doing it.
Yeah, because
I'll do it myself.
Because her friends now follow my wife on Instagram and stuff. You know, they all love my wife, all the kids.
Yeah,
and
I bet they do.
Yeah, so they follow her on Instagram and stuff. So my daughter's like, don't put any pictures of me up there.
Yeah, I don't blame her, dude. I'll do it myself. I
I
know when
say
I
the
look
same
good.
thing.
Kate doesn't do that to me either.
You want to know? You want to know what I do? So whenever my wife's recording something, I say on the recording, "Don't post this."
No, I know.
So then she can't do it.
No, you
She
have to
gets so mad.
put your foot down.
Yeah, I do. Because
Andy did go to a restaurant, one of the nicest restaurants in St. Louis the other day. Alvin Oak,
Mm.
Chrissy Pondoff, a little shout out, baby, I love you. And Alvin Oak has the best
We
steak.
had the best meal.
Damn good stuff. And I was wondering what Andy would post, because that's what
I didn't take pictures of my
that's what women do, but Andy does it too, is where you take a picture of your meal. But it's only oysters. Like, what was your main course,
that was
sir?
and that wasn't even all the oysters. That was just the raw oysters.
I'll eat 50 oysters.
We got
and have a boner for 2 days.
Aphrodisiac. Do you know all my kids?
Kate knows when I'm eating them oysters.
All my kids slept out.
Daddy's coming home.
Oh my God!
I'll tell you that right now.
Daddy's home.
She knows it. I'll crush those damn things.
Oh my God!
With horseradish, hot sauce, lemon,
little cocktail sauce too.
What else did you eat there, Andy?
What
a waste for you to go there.
Why?
Because I know you just don't.
No,
did you eat hummus? The hummus?
No. Here's what I got.
Squid.
Here's what I got. So we started with the oysters. So this was a celebration for Laurie's birthday because she was out of town when it was her birthday a few weeks ago. She was with Chloe on a soccer trip. So we hadn't really celebrated. All three of my kids were sleeping out at different places. It was the most amazing thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Like Ty had a birthday party. One of his hockey teammates. Other two were at friends' houses.
Get out of here.
So we made this plan to go do this, and so they did have flank steak on the menu, and that's what I was thinking I was going to get, but I just wasn't really in the mood for it, man. I ate so many oysters.
Not in the mood for
flank
steak.
steak.
No shit, he's not.
Flank steak is probably the healthiest steak you can eat, based on my research. I mean, do you know of one better or healthier?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like,
I don't even look into it that much.
I know, but like, tell me, what do you like? It's probably the leanest steak, don't you think?
Yeah, I like flank steak. I would say you'd have to go to a different animal if you want to eat steak and be healthier. Maybe elk would be a lot healthier.
That wouldn't be steak.
Whatever.
That would be elk.
Well, okay, I'm just saying, like the healthiest.
You think elk or bison or something
Bison's
like that
healthier,
is healthier than
I think so.
beef?
I think that's what I read. I could be wrong. I don't even care that much to even like dissect it because it doesn't matter to me. Like, I bet you Andy looks at the menu for 5 hours. I bet you you're just so probably annoying. Like, okay, well, what's in this? What? Like, I would just be like, give me that fucking tomahawk. Give me that squid. Give me them oysters.
The tomahawk.
Are you looking at the menu like, what do I do?
But I did get the mahi. Is what I got, dude, and it was absolutely delicious. My wife got something else. I don't know. I forgot what she got. We just had, dude. We had the best time though, man. I mean, honestly, got a little. It just almost needed to call.
Did you get down with it?
We did.
Good for you.
Yeah, we did.
We like put something cute on, woman. I'm taking my time with you.
Yeah, we had a great night, man.
Good for
great
you.
Night.
It makes you feel like a man sometimes. You got to get the kids out of the house. You two need to get down with it. Good for you.
Yeah.
You look a little different today.
Do I?
Yeah, you have usually kind of Andy's flat-footy when he comes in, like now you kind of have a little spring in your step.
Did I have a little bounce in my step today?
Like I fucking
that's good.
Like good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. You probably needed that.
The waitress, the lady comes, or the manager or whatever, she comes over. She's like, the owner told us you probably want sports on, so that's why we put you by the TV. Do you want the NBA or MLB? I was like, I'm good. I don't really need either one. But they put the basketball game on for us. It's the first basketball game I had watched in quite some time, actually. Like, I wasn't even watching it. It's just like on.
Did you watch the all-women shuttle landing?
Well, my
With
girl
Katy
Gail was upset about one thing.
They were breaking barriers.
Okay, Gail, you want to know why Gail was upset? Oprah's best friend? And I've been tracking her career for a long time.
They're heroes.
You want to know why she was upset?
Why?
And I know Katy Perry went with her, but Gail went with her. And Gail does a great job on Good Morning America. She's been with ABC News. She worked with Oprah back in the day. They've been best friends. She used to come on Oprah's show quite often. And she's upset because people called it a ride. And it wasn't a ride.
What was it then, Andy?
This was a...
What'd they do? What research did they develop? Did they find anything up there? Did they solve a mystery?
What do they call it?
They went up there and came right back down because they're wealthy.
Yeah, but it's dangerous.
Katy Perry comes out and kisses the ground. These people are so goddamn out of touch. Andy's like, they're at their Creve Coeur Racket Club like, oh my God, oh my God. They did nothing. They did nothing. And then they set up Jeff Bezos is like walking around the shuttle, falls right on his face like Biden. Then they try to unhatch the front part. Meanwhile, they already opened it from the inside, which is odd. Then they staged the whole fucking thing. They went up for 2 seconds. They came down. People are bitching a little bit like, why? How can they? Where was all the, from the traction? Where's the fire from the traction that you get when you come back in the atmosphere going that fast? It didn't come back that fast. It popped up, stayed there, and went back down.
They just literally go straight up?
Yeah,
and
just
straight
like
down?
wealthy people do that. You pay fucking couple hundred
Isn't
grand.
that dangerous to do?
I mean, right now, no. It's dangerous to land on the moon, probably.
Yeah, but I think about like the Challenger and some of those, accidents,
They were pumping
tragedies we've seen.
They were pumping those things out every fucking 2 weeks, basically, at the time. NASA was pumping it out, and people lost interest, and they got lazy.
Back in the day?
Back in the
when
day.
that teacher died?
Yes, and the teacher came on, and that wasn't the Challenger.
That was the Challenger.
That was the Challenger. Columbia is the other one in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
But the Challenger was in 86, I think.
85, 86.
They fucked up. They were in Florida, and it was so cold, and they kept delaying.
Because of the wind or something?
Because of the weather. The weather was cold.
Can't do it in the cold?
Can't do it in the cold, dude, because these little hoses, these little rubber things froze up because it was too cold.
In Florida?
And they popped apart when they were going up, and it ripped the side of it and fucked everything up, and then exploded.
The weather is what did it?
Yes.
In Florida, it was too cold.
These little O-rings
Mm-hmm.
froze up. It's just a little thing that fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a plane, man.
What do they call it? I forget
when
what
a plane crashes, they'll find one little bolt. This little bolt fucked up because it wasn't tightened the right way or whatever the case is. It's interesting.
I forgot what they call it, like when they go up.
But it's funny, though.
To space, though, like what the actual adventure is called. It's like
something. A bunch of different guys do it too. Where if you're wealthy, you could go up there and hang out.
So why did they go? Because I know the guy from like.
It's all a stunt. They put a bunch of rich girls together and like women power. We're gonna go up there and do something. Meanwhile, it's like they just sent them up. Don't even take that long.
You know the guy from Star Trek or whatever, or what's the TV show? You know him, the big famous. He's the voiceover guy. He's got that voice.
I know who you're talking about. He was in Sopranos too. What's his name? I
don't
forgot.
think he was.
No, he's in Sopranos for one little episode.
What's the TV show called?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
I didn't get into that.
He was in that. Either did I.
I didn't get into that.
I never understood how anyone could get into that. A lot of people did, though.
These people are so out of touch to where they thought that people, when they landed, they were going to get out and put this whole fucking show on, and people are going to be like, wow. Meanwhile, everybody's fucking bashing them. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I can't believe this. Well, yeah. You're a bunch of rich girls that go up there, and you come back down. You didn't accomplish anything, but you act like you do, and it's just funny. And then like you get a reality check. Even Wendy's popped up on Twitter and said, "Keep them up there" or whatever.
Wendy's,
yeah, it's a good marketing campaign.
Oh my
You're
God.
on the right side there. That's ballsy. I like when companies do that.
Keep them up
Keep
there.
them up there. I thought
they said that about Gail.
But when this popped up,
hold on? They said that about Gail.
Gail, yes. Wendy threw bombs. But I did think something bad was going to happen.
Oh, my God.
I know.
What a terrible thought, dude.
I just thought, not that I wanted it. You don't want that. I don't want them dying. Like, of course not.
You're thinking
I want them
though.
getting chirped because they're so out of
Gail
touch with reality.
King.
Gail. I thought when this all was going down, everybody's like, yeah, cool. I'm like, something's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't, because it's actually relatively safe, man. These guys know. I mean, Elon's fucking throwing rockets in the air. They're coming back down and landing. Some are crashing. Some crash on purpose. Just da-da-da-da. So there's a lot going on for the space world right now. That ain't one of it. Like, that's not one of them. I know you celebrated it, but it's the most ridiculous bullshit in the world.
But reading about it, and people who were critical were also saying it was no different than going to the moon or whatever and back. Like that's stage 2.
How far do you think the moon is from here?
I mean,
how many miles?
I would say I think you've asked me
How
this
many-
before.
How many miles?
I'm gonna say a couple 100,000 or something.
Damn right, Andy.
Okay.
You're goddamn right. What do you think that was?
Where they just went?
Yeah.
20,000.
No. It's probably like 10.
10,000.
10 miles.
Oh, 10 miles. Oh, really?
Yeah. 35,000 feet is like a
that's
jumbo
all
jet.
they did?
That's a jumbo jet at highest.
That's
like 30.
Southwest Airlines.
Yeah,
dude.
at the highest. When you go to, it's about 36,000
Like
feet.
you're flying to,
But how many miles is
Chicago.
that? 7,000 a mile. So that's like 3-4 miles. So that was like maybe 10 miles up. Could be wrong. Maybe
How long
20
were they
miles.
up there
You thought
for?
they were up there for 20,000 miles. That's way.
You think they
you're
were-
in orbit then. Then you got to come down crashing
Yeah.
hard, and that's the scary part.
Listen,
These guys didn't have.
I want to see like Katy Perry and
stupid.
Gayle King like floating around, and eating like
They did
space
for a
food,
second. They were able to do that for a second when they took selfies.
No,
because-
they didn't.
Yeah, but that wasn't because you were in orbit. That was because they were falling at a rate to where you were kind of balanced out.
Gravity, yeah.
So I don't know. It's all goofy. Would I like to do that? Man, my vertigo. I don't know. I don't know. Not with those cackling
What are you
broads.
seeing out there?
Oh, the whole world. You're seeing that the Earth is not flat for all you flat earthers out there. Like Jesus Christ! Listen, I'm a good conspiracy. I like a good
Cam,
conspiracy,
hold
baby.
on.
That ain't one of them.
You're seeing the whole world
You could see the world.
from up there. It's like being in an
Sure,
airplane.
you
You
could
can't
see
see the whole
fucking-
world.
Yeah, but you're way farther up than the airplane. 36,000 miles or 36,000 feet compared to 10 to 20 miles up. That's a big difference, dude. That's how many feet, Maddie? Jesus. 500,000 or something?
You're saying 10 miles is higher than 30,000 feet. I got you.
Yeah. Put it together.
Okay.
What-
That's what you're saying.
Educated one out of the
What-
group. The
you-
educated
why
one.
are you going from feet to miles? Like you're
Because I could only tell you how many. When you're in cruising altitude on a jumbo jet,
30,000
it's
feet.
36,000 feet.
Mhm.
And you're like, you look down pretty far. Imagine being 20 miles higher than that or 10 miles higher.
Yeah.
You could see the bend of the earth.
Yeah.
You could see fucking Africa over there probably. You could see
No.
from where they were at Florida. If they came off at Florida, yeah, I would say that you could see a good chunk of the earth. It'd be pretty cool.
You can see Africa?
Sure.
I mean, geez,
20
you got
mi-
some serious eyesight.
No, not really. Eyesight, 62 miles up. So if you're 62 miles up, Andy, you could see a big chunk of the world. Not the other side, China, but you could see North America. You could fucking see Greenland. You could see Europe, and it comes down. You see
better have
Africa.
some binoculars or something.
No, it's right there, you dummy. Maddie, get the fuck in here. I can't do this. Seriously. Fucking goggle. What are you talking about? It's like boom.
Like you're hitting it?
Motherfucker, you're looking down like, holy shit, it's right there. It's
Wow.
the only thing you
So
could
is that
see.
what Gail said when they got back? That they
I don't
saw
even know.
that
I don't know
shit?
what she said. I muted the TV. They're kissing the ground like morons.
Who else went?
They thought people were
besides
going to be
her
like, you can't give them like ribbons and stuff. Everybody's making fun of you. Except for at the Creve Coeur Racket Club. Holy shit, you need fucking binoculars.
Yeah.
Do you know what you could see from the moon,
William
man? You could-
Shatner, that's who went up there.
Jesus. There's a bunch of rich people that do. God. Wow. Man,
I remember
sometimes though,
the,
like, you know,
William Shatner.
you don't know, like, you
He-
can't balance everything.
William Shatner used to be on those celebrity roasts,
Well, he got.
and they did
got
they did
got.
the Betty White, and that one guy, who's kind of crazy with like the red
Funny.
curly hair, he's on all of them. He was on Brady. He was like the one who Brady got pissed at for talking about his
Tony Hinchcliffe?
No, who Brady got pissed at this guy for talking about his kids and shit. I think.
Oh, okay. But I thought that was Tony
You know the
Hinchcliffe.
guy with the Jewish guy with the curly hair and stuff like. You know what I'm talking about.
I mean, who cares? Let's go. We
But-
need to figure out
but-
names when we
but-
start telling stories here
So-
because I'm bad at
So
that
Betty
too.
White
Yeah.
was being roasted.
Betty?
And William Shatner's one of the roasters. And this guy said, Betty White's so old, she shat in her pants or something like that about Billy Shatner, dude. It was
Well, wait,
just
say this.
killing
What
me.
is it though? You can't just half-ass the punchline. So she shit her pants and what?
He was like, you're so old, you shat in her pants or something like that. It's talking about Billy Shatner.
What?
Oh,
Betty White
shit.
was kind of sexy at a very old.
Hilarious.
All
dude.
y'all out there, don't play with me like that. Dolly Parton and Betty White
love
at an
Dolly.
old. I'm like, God damn, Betty. They're like, do you know country? I'm like, yeah, I know Dolly Parton. As a kid,
Mhm.
no idea she was a singer. She had
The
monster.
thing. on her-
That's Cindy Crawford.
No,
That's Cindy Crawford.
so does
You are
no,
out of
dude.
touch with everything.
Dude, you don't think
Dolly Parton,
Dolly Parton has one
had
of those?
monsters.
Monster. monster boobs.
Monster breasts.
Yeah.
Lovely woman.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter that she had big boobs.
No. I love her Christmas albums, dude.
She made a lot of money.
She's very hot.
At an old age.
It doesn't matter.
She was like fucking 80, and I'm like, man,
she's so sweet.
God.
The way she talks.
What?
She's so sweet, dude.
Lovely woman.
I mean, I just love her.
Lovely woman.
Like,
do you see the video? Man, I know I bring up, Justin Bieber a lot because he is in a hockey world, and
yeah, but he's angry right now.
We know a lot of guys. He's fucking pissy after everybody's filming him. Like, he's got these weird sweatpants that are like cut up. Like, he looks like such a bum. And they film and they get so mad, like, well, don't go. Like, do you have to go to that restaurant? Like, why don't you order some food at home and just kind of like chill? Then you get pissed at people. Then he's at Coachella, and he's like this. And listen, he was smoking weed.
Is he performing?
No, he's hanging out with a bunch of dudes, and like everybody's partying there. There's so much drugs at Coachella. It's the most nasty fuck thing ever. Like, if you want to party, you can do it. You got your mud everywhere. No one's showering. There's lines like a mile long just to shower. All the girls are like, yeah, they're hot, but at that point, they probably all stank. And you're like, everybody's gross. But Justin Bieber's like this, like, jonesing, man. Like, trust me, I know. He's like, he's dancing like Brooks Koepka kind of looked like his eyes are Jones. And when you're doing Molly like that, man, you just get kind of goofy looking, dude. He looks fucked up, bad. Austin Matthews, man, after this fight, you might have to call your boy up and just be like, you good? I know that face, and he was getting.
You think they have that type of friendship?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I think
Andy, that's a damn good question. I don't know.
I think he's just a Maple Leafs fanboy. So when he wants to be the fanboy, he hangs out with those guys.
I don't know.
But when it comes to that type of shit, like, he's not bringing those guys with him.
Does he have anybody like that? He probably has.
Oh, probably some old school boys from Canada or something.
Maybe, or he has guys that are. Just like we've seen with some players at times where they have their buddies around. Their buddies don't take care of them. Their buddies are the show. Hey, I'm here.
Can I say this?
That's probably what he surrounds himself with.
I always like Bieber too, his music and shit. Like, he's fine. You know what I'm saying?
I never got into
I didn't get into anything. I'm just saying Bieber was fine. But I feel like we've seen a dramatic change in him since Diddy got arrested.
Well, I bet you there's a dramatic change in him when he was hanging out with Diddy.
I'm saying since Diddy got arrested,
I think he was a cute little boy.
You've seen him become angry and defiant and reclusive.
Maybe because they tie everything together, and his name was probably popped up. Shit,
He's probably got a lot of shit going on, dude.
But I think when he was a good kid with the hair like this, and he's like doing his thing, and girls are all over him. I mean, listen, when you're that young, and you have that much vagina coming at you in every way possible.
That famous, yeah.
You have drugs, you have money, your parents have no fucking control over you. You have 40-year-old hot women, 30-year-old women coming, taking advantage of you at a young age. You're not even horny yet. And you have the hottest things that fucks you up. It fucks you up, man. You're sexualized. So is
that what you're saying happened?
Listen to me. You're sexualized at such a young age, but you don't even know it, but it's cool. You don't even know what you're doing. And then you hang out with motherfucking butt fuck Diddy by yourself when he was probably doing at his most hardcore things at the time. And you're 15, he's giving you Lamborghinis and you're spending the night at his house with a bunch of fucking gangsters. What? Whoa, homeboy. Chloe fucking blows up.
What's the latest on him?
Chloe blows up and does something. She becomes a singer and stuff like that. And you have her go to Hollywood by herself. You doing that? What do you do? You're going to go fucking have her and she's fucking touring around, boom, hanging out with lawyers and agents and weirdos. And she's not answering your call. She doesn't need you. What are you going to do?
She'll answer my
What are you going to do? You're going to not let her go fill out her dream in Hollywood? My parents had me go up to Canada and Windsor, drugs out the fucking wazoo to go fight people for a living. Like, you got to let them go. What are you going to do with Chloe? She's going to go to Hollywood.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They were throwing you into a controlled environment.
Out of my mind up there.
I'm just saying.
You're
going to live with billets to play for a hockey team.
7-year-old billets
where
have no control
where there's
over
a
you.
coach and
I get that.
You got to be places at certain times.
We were out of our minds.
Yeah, I'm sure junior hockey. It's no different than going to college.
Yeah.
I bet you college you have more free time to be crazy than you would going to play junior hockey.
Junior hockey's you're playing pro, dude.
College is nobody telling you where to be and what to do.
When you go to juniors, it's a business every day.
Well, you have to be somewhere at a specific time.
It just was wild. It was wild. You know, you're going to bars at a young age. You're doing that. It's just a different life. You're not hanging out with your parents' basement. You know what I mean? It just was different. But when you go to Hollywood and those weirdos come get you and they take advantage of you, they take advantage of you.
Jesus.
God damn, Andy. I'm just saying it, baby.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I'm not worried about what's going on.
Always playing soccer, dude.
Bieber and those guys.
I'm not too
you
worried
know
about
what I
it.
mean?
I'm not worried about it. I'm just curious.
Cam's like, I never got into Bieber, but I'm just really concerned about how how he's doing right now.
I didn't like his music. It's just interesting when you see it pop up.
Oh, I
all
like some
through.
of his music.
I know you do. But I never got into it.
You got your peaches down in Georgia?
I just see him everywhere. That's all. No big deal. No big deal. You know? It is funny though that you know, like all these it's always like when the playoffs come, like the nerdiest people in every single city finds a way to create a song for their team and they get fucking bashed.
That Ottawa song?
Yeah.
Dude, that's terrible. That's one of the worst ones I've ever seen.
Is it a joke? Are they serious? And then it's just funny because everybody's like,
that's where
it's jinxed.
The team and the players have to like take control and be like, do not put that anywhere near any of our platforms.
Did they retweet it? Like, does Ottawa retweet
I don't know.
Because they can't control that.
There's a funny Maple Leafs one. Some of those are like kind of creative. You know, it's been so long. You forget how long it's been for the Maple Leaf fans, man. I think about all y'all, man. Like, you realize it, like when I told my kid last night that they have never won a Stanley Cup since 1967. Like, dude, man, that is a long time.
Such a long time. And not even really close, and they've had bad teams. Like the Blues went a long way, but they were in the playoffs every year. They had superstars. The Leafs have some cool teams, man, especially in like the 2002s, and they had a bunch of fucking shit kickers. They had some cool guys on that team. Had some good playoff rounds with New York Islanders, Ottawa.
But this is a different matchup for Toronto.
They look pretty good.
Like, well, typically they face like Boston in the first round or one of these other teams.
Yeah.
This is like, okay, this isn't really much of a matchup for them, at least judging by game one. It could change, obviously, as you move along. And we'll talk with Mike Johnson about it. But, you know, Ottawa having so many players that don't have experience, they took some stupid penalties, whether you thought the officiating was soft or not. I didn't like the Stützle penalty. I thought that first one was a little bit of a push. You probably could have let that go.
Wasn't much.
But, you know, the game was pretty much even at that point, and that's what kind of led to Toronto breaking away. You're going to put them on the power play the whole game, then you're going to be asking for trouble, Ottawa.
Well, there's some stupid penalties, though. The cross-check was bad. I get, like, defending yourself. John Tavares is coming at you. Is he going to put you through the boards? You don't need to get your stick up. Put your shoulder in him. Stick him. Reverse hit him.
They reversed that to
no doubt, but that's a guaranteed penalty.
Yeah,
you know, you don't need that.
It is.
Brady had a breakaway, but that was really it. He was pretty quiet in that game.
He was. I thought his first couple shifts he was very noticeable, and you know, listen, he's been hurt down the stretch. You just wonder where he's at in terms of health. But that's probably the most nervous he's been for a game. That's the most nervous his family has been to watch him play. Probably even more so than the Four Nations, because the Four Nations, there was so much excitement about it, and I'm sure there was a lot of nervousness, but, you know, Matthew was there with him at the same time. It just probably was a different type of excitement for the family. But when he's playing his first ever playoff game and he's the captain of the team, like, I'm sure there was a level of nervousness that they probably hadn't experienced in quite some time. But you got it out of the way.
First one out of the way.
And we'll see what happens moving forward. I didn't give Ottawa much of a chance in this particular playoff series anyway. I mean, the big challenge we all know for Toronto is going to be in round two when they got to play a big dog, either Tampa or Florida, and then we'll see how they do. When you go from watching the Toronto-Ottawa game to Minnesota-Vegas, it was like going from watching like a minor league game to a NHL game, honestly. Nothing against Ottawa, nothing against Toronto, but just the actual game and the compete level and the margin between the two teams was way slimmer than what we saw between Ottawa and Toronto. The Toronto game, you just never felt like Toronto was in danger of ever losing the game. You didn't know how it was going to go, even though Vegas was pretty much in control. You know, Minnesota stayed around and stuck around. You know, they had the young kid playing Z Bulliam, which I don't quite understand this one, Cam. This is like becoming a little bit of a trend all of a sudden where you just put these young kids in straight out of college. And his resume is unbelievable. when you look at what he did with the World Juniors and winning a national championship and coming through the national team development program. Like his path suggests that he should be ready to play on the big stage. But when you put him in the game, his first ever career NHL game, let alone it's the playoffs, and he's on the ice in a 6-on-5 situation at the end of the game, it's a lot of pressure. You're asking him, or you're asking an awful lot out of a kid who's playing in his first NHL game, which happens to be in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
How'd he look?
I pumped the brakes a little bit.
If he's out there at the
kind
end
of
of the
what
game,
you would expect him to look. Listen, he's very confident. He did a great job breaking the puck out. He makes a good first pass. He looks comfortable from that standpoint. He can really skate. But one thing that, he's going to have to adjust to is just realizing how, when you think a play is available at the NHL level, how quickly that play closes.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's not college. And, so you got to move it right away, and you got to make a decision right away. Once you hesitate and then move it, that puck's going to get picked off and, basically ice the game for Vegas, because Vegas, turned the puck over, drew a penalty. They end up scoring a empty netter seconds later. But even earlier in the game, closer to the net, Buyum, can you say it, Zeev? Zeev had the puck and just waited. He didn't know if he wanted to pass, if he wanted to shoot. There were some chances maybe just to go ahead and shoot the puck. But in terms of, being able to use his feet and his skating ability and break the puck out, like he can do all that. Early in the game, he turned the puck over. Could have been disastrous inside his own end. Kaprizov made a beautiful between-the-legs pass to him, right to the middle of the ice.
He made another nice pass.
And William turned that puck over, but nothing really came out of it. I will say this, Kaprizov, man, is like he's the best kept. He's not even a secret, but people forget about him because he was hurt for so long. Like when he got hurt, he was, I think, 4th in the league in scoring.
Yep.
And, he had scored a bunch of goals. I think he had like 23 goals or something like that at the time. This guy would be competing for a Hart Trophy. He still finished with like close to 60 points in just over 40 games or something like that. He probably would be competing for a Hart Trophy. This guy's one of my favorite players in the league to watch. He's unbelievable. And something about his game and him in general, people aren't going to like it when I say this, but like, could you imagine him playing in New York or something like that? You know what I mean? Just
10 and 2 in it in the offensive zone
just
for
playing
2 minutes at a time.
in a bigger market with a little more flash because he's got that personality to go with it. I love watching him play.
I like him too.
He's one of the best players by far. I'm not saying anything that people don't realize.
I like that whole team, actually. I like Minnesota.
Oh, dude.
Damn right. Damn right.
I do too.
Foligno cruising around.
Boldy, yeah. They got some
players, man. They can play big. They can play fast.
Maybe, I don't know if they can handle Vegas in a 7-game series.
Tough,
Vegas is just at a different
They're
level.
good. They know what to do. They've been here before.
Yeah,
it's like
good,
that's all they've been through is
all they've done is
runs.
Win.
All they do is win. They find the right recipe and they go out there and they win.
And they put on a show at the in Vegas.
Hell yeah, Andy.
Fans are into it. They got Carrot Top ringing the bell.
They're always going to have people sign there. It's appealing.
It is.
Everything about it. You could hide if you want. You can go in the mix. You could do this. You could do that.
Yeah. Getting back to Ottawa real quick. You know who stood out for me? Who was their best player?
Ottawa?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who?
David Perron.
Oh, yeah. He made some good plays, especially on that goal in the corner.
Forechecking.
Yep.
Everything he tries to do, he makes. Like
yelling
his
at
little
the ref
5-foot passes. They were yelling at him.
Everybody, stop.
Yeah. That's where the lack of composure is.
Stop doing that, man. You're yelling at the linesman, too. It's like everything. You're bitching about everything. Calm down. But you're right. He wasn't on a mix, winning battles in the corner, made a nice play out to the slot for one of the goals. But, hey, calm down with the ref situation.
How about you rotate the puck to his side on the power play so he can take a one-timer? Like, hello.
Why don't you tweet that out?
I will. But stop going the other side. This guy's got
knows
one
how to score.
Oh, he's money from that spot at the left circle. It doesn't have to be in his wheelhouse either.
No,
he'll
get it off.
Oh my God. And he gets a lot on it. It's crazy. He's got a crazy shot.
He's got a great shot.
And they don't even rotate the puck to his side on the power play. Like, let's get it together.
Did you watch the press conference afterwards? Did they talk about that? Did anybody ask that question?
Probably not. About Perron?
Yeah, give him the puck in his sweet spot.
No.
We've seen him do that multiple times.
But get him the puck.
Give him the puck.
Did you see you missed the linesman getting hurt
I had no idea. I saw it. It was like a punch over the. Oh boy, didn't know who was it. I forgot who it was, but they didn't.
Howden.
They didn't see him, and he's just trying to bat the puck down. It's in a weird situation, and the ref got hurt. Did you see the other day in the minors, in the corner,
Oh my
the
God.
guy coming? People were bashing him, but I also think that
Was he out of position?
no. Well, the linesman or ref, whatever it was, I think he was out of position, and I think the guy was looking back to see who was on him, and just saw a body figure in front of him. It's like there's a reaction, and pushed him like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" Listen, whenever you come close to somebody on the ice like that, your initial reaction is either bury your shoulder or protect yourself, put your hands up. And I think that was the case, but it looked so bad. Threw him right in. This was a couple weeks ago, right into the corner. And I think he got 10 games.
I thought he should have gotten more than 10 games. I couldn't believe he only got 10 games.
I think he just
you
fucked
purposely
up. I think he fucked up.
Do that to a referee. I just thought he would have gotten more than 10. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, 100%. He made a mistake. He
thought it was somebody else
at the time.
Yeah.
And we still got 10 games. But yesterday, Howden gets locked up with the referee as
Yeah.
he's trying to keep the puck into the zone or whatever. So, can I just tell you, I don't want to. I told myself I was not going to be negative about the broadcasting or anything like that. I just was not going to.
The
do
all-women
it.
broadcasting.
Oh my God. I just wasn't going to do that one. Where you tune in, you don't even know who it is. You're like, wait, who's talking?
I can't hear him. Even Kate was like, who's talking?
I'm pretty sure John Forsland, who's one of the best play-by-play guys in the league, I feel so bad for him right now, honestly. Like
TNT does a great job everywhere else.
I know.
All of a sudden they have two. I don't get it.
I don't know what was going on there. I'm pretty sure that he and Jennifer Botterill, because that's who was the color commentator.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out who was talking. I'm pretty sure they were in a studio in Atlanta.
No, they were.
And they were not in Winnipeg.
They were not in Winnipeg. You don't have the money for them to go to Winnipeg?
I don't know what the deal is.
You know how hard the difference is? You know exactly what it is. Calling a game from the studio.
Why wouldn't they be there?
Lack of money? It's a fucking playoffs. Why would you not send people to Winnipeg?
But I'll tell you the biggest waste of money in hockey broadcasts is having a referee part of the broadcast. I mean, this guy, I love Dave Jackson, nice guy. But like, dude, when you say the referee, first off, the referee gets hurt. He said the ref had a lower body injury. I mean, it's like you're allowed to say what you think it is. Okay, he's not a player.
Yeah.
He doesn't have upper body or lower body. He said that he had a concussion and a leg injury at the same time. It was like he had a concussion, but he's leaving with a lower body injury. And the concussion spotter saw him and probably needed to pull him off the ice. Like he's a player. Like to say that he's got a lower body injury. We don't refer to referees as lower body or upper body.
No,
you're allowed to say it looks like he hurt his knee or his leg or he got a concussion.
No shit.
You can identify what you think the injury is. But he speculated 10 different injuries.
Nobody besides his family is going to be like, when's he coming back?
They don't ever tell you like, they never put their balls on the line, these guys, and be like, hey, this is not going to be a goal. This is going to be a goal. They're like, tell you like what the referees are looking at and what they may or may not. They can go this way or they can go that way. Well, we all know. You don't ever like tell us what's going to happen. Like you watch an NFL game, they're like, no, he got 2 feet inbounds. This is 100% going to be a catch. This is going to be overturned. The ball hit the ground. This is going to be overturned. If it was a hockey referee in a football game, they'd be like, well, they're probably looking at to see if the ball hit the ground. And if it did, then it's not going to count. And if it didn't, then it's going to be a catch. So we'll see what they say.
We know that.
It's like, okay, yeah, we get that. Just tell us what's going to happen.
Yeah. Give us your opinion. And if you're wrong,
Give us your
cares?
opinion.
Who cares?
Just say the referee got it wrong, too, or you disagree with his call.
I just completely disagree.
I don't know how they missed this.
You know?
Did you see the shootout with Chicago when Nazer?
Yeah. It's right there.
They missed it.
And then Line shot after that, too.
Where'd they think the puck went?
Over the glass or something.
They think it went out of play?
He didn't even get to celebrate with his teammates.
He did celebrate.
Yeah, but his teammates are like, no.
He put his stick up, and then he comes back to the bench, and people are like, well, why didn't he say something to the refs? Why would he say something to the refs? Like, whoever, like, you don't ever score a goal and then tell the ref that it's in the net. Like, you just skate back to the bench.
Yeah, they should know.
You're not thinking that they're not counting it. Everyone saw it go straight in. It wasn't even a controversial
It was
one.
hanging out right there.
The net, like, went, like, flying back.
Yeah.
When the puck hit the back of the net.
They fucked that one up. And they didn't really look for it. I mean, even if you went behind the net, you could just see the puck like hanging out right there. Sometimes it gets caught up in that mesh sometimes where it's a little hidden. This wasn't even hidden.
But
really weird.
I just feel like there's a lot of former players who have put their time in with broadcasting.
Yeah, no doubt. It is what it is.
And I would like to see some of these guys get an opportunity.
We don't have anybody that's want to what's that job for TNT? One in between the benches and calling the game. Like what?
No offense.
No offense.
Are we still dealing with that?
They are, apparently. You know, these businesses have to change through time.
Which broadcast do you prefer, TNT or ESPN?
TNT.
You do.
And I love Bucci, though. Don't get me wrong. You know, I do. I think he's fantastic. But TNT, because of just Biz and those guys, they're hilarious. Biz talked about not wearing a jock. You crazy son of a bitch.
I do like it when Gretzky talks, though.
So do I.
And I like it
Lundqvist.
I would love this. Nothing
those.
Against anybody else on that panel, but I would love to see just a studio show one day with just Gretzky and Lundqvist.
Yeah.
Let them
great.
just talk.
They're great.
The whole time.
I like PK Subban, man. I do. He sticks up for hockey like no other, man.
That's different, but his analysis during the game is just not very strong, Cam. I'm sorry. He just says the same thing over and over again. He can't break it down.
I said I like him.
He doesn't break it down.
I said
it's
I
not
like
about
him.
liking him because
No,
everybody.
I said it is.
We like a lot of people.
No, I don't. Sometimes I don't like people, but PK Subban as a whole, I like what he does for hockey. Man.
Fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
That's all I'm saying.
I won't disagree with you there.
Like he goes toe to toe with these cats, man. I'm like, good for you.
He does. But like during the game, when it's intermission and you have to break down the game, it's just not.
Well, I don't want him breaking down a game when it's U.S. versus Canada, and he's representing the U.S. That's odd to me.
But he's Canadian, and
he's Canadian.
They show him behind the scenes celebrating
in a Canadian jersey. He's talking to you. We're talking. Oh God, stupid.
I know. I don't mean to even make it about that. So
it's all good, man.
Not really trying to
We're
be
throwing our opinion
critical.
Out. What's the most?
It's not an easy job.
What's the most boring series so far?
We got New Jersey and Carolina. Although I like that Stankoven. And I told you before the season, I thought that he would be a candidate for the Calder Trophy.
He's a damn good player.
Watching him in the playoffs last year, he's just a playoff player. Can you believe after all that movement and all that moving around with Rantanen, maybe the Carolina did get the best player after all in Stankoven?
Maybe. That was
maybe the best playoff player. Rantanen's just quiet, man. I don't notice him.
I didn't notice him the other night.
Like I don't notice him for like $12 million or whatever the hell he's making. Do you?
No.
Does he look like an elite of the elite superstars?
I don't. If I don't notice you, you shouldn't be making 12 schmil. And I'm saying I like guys that stick out. Kaprizov the other night where he's 10-2 in his zone for like 2 minutes straight.
Dude,
like,
he was so good last night. His passing is unbelievable.
Rantanen's not doing that. He's standing in front of the net. If it doesn't come to him, then he's backing out and he changes. Like he's not.
That cross-ice pass Kaprizov made to Boldy was unbelievable.
Smooth, quick.
He made another pass on a 2-on-1. Like I don't know how he got to him. Minnesota didn't score.
I like Minnesota, man.
On the play, but he made a beautiful pass through like two guys. Everyone converges on him, and he makes an unbelievable pass just to his right. But yeah, Rantanen, man, I've seen him be great in the past. I just, he's having trouble adjusting to playing at the level that he showed in Colorado all those years with different teams, whether it's been Carolina or Dallas. But eventually, you just hope that he'll get there. You know what? Maybe he'll be really good with Heiskanen when he comes back. Maybe he'll be able to develop some of that chemistry that he had with Makar.
That's a big hit.
You know what I mean?
Heiskanen being gone. I'm curious to see what happens with Edmonton and LA, man. I really am. LA's no joke. Watching those guys play live, dude, you're like, ooh, like they're pretty dang good. They're pretty dang good.
Do you know Dallas had lost? They've lost 8 consecutive games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked Colorado. Colorado just looks like they're in a completely different level.
That's not a good trend to be in when you're starting.
When you start the playoffs and you've lost 7.
And they got their ass kicked a couple times too. The fuck's that all about? And then they get Sagan back.
Yeah, they lost to like terrible teams.
I know.
Like Nashville.
They're like, get me into the. That's what sucks
Pittsburgh.
When you're good all year like that, though, man. Like it's such a fucking grind all year with the Four Nations, and everybody at the end's like, God, get me in. If you're already 12 points up. And you're like in this kind of try to cruise control mode where you don't want to get hurt. It's hard to get up for games, man. And then all of a sudden, boom, you got to get up. What do you think of the Blues and Jets?
That was not a
What do you think of the Blues and
Canada
Jets?
and USA? They play in the final every time they have a tournament.
Blues.
Will there ever be another country that comes in and starts threatening Canada or USA and women's?
Maybe Russia.
Maybe Japan.
Maybe Japan. Maybe China.
Sweden's always been pretty good. Finland plays hard.
What about the Blues and the Jets? Good God.
Yeah, listen, here's my feeling on Winnipeg and St. Louis, and it's hard because, listen, Game 2 is happening tonight when we're recording. So when this comes out,
we're going to do another one tomorrow.
We'll already know about Game 2, but just so you know, we're going to come out and do a separate recording tomorrow, just recapping Monday night's games around the NHL.
Yes.
So we'll have something later in the day on Tuesday for you to check out. Listen, St. Louis needs to generate more offense, more shot attempts. They really got outplayed in that department.
Especially, third period.
You know, I don't fully subscribe to the idea of focusing on the players who are playing their first ever career Stanley Cup playoff game. I know Neighbors played his first game. Bolduc took a terrible penalty.
Cross check.
And Snuggerud, they're all playing their first game. They got a lot of experience. And in order for the Blues to advance and truly make this a competitive series, their veteran players need to be better. So Parayko's going to probably need to be better. They're probably going to need more from Shen. And they're going to need more from Cam Fowler. Those guys didn't have their best in Game 1. I would expect that to change. They're all going to be better. But I didn't come out of that game being like, oh, the Blues are young, they're inexperienced, that's why they lost. I thought their veteran players weren't as good as Winnipeg star players.
They found a way at the end.
Now, Thomas and Kyrou were good, right?
Yeah.
Those two guys played, a real strong game. But, they're going to have to find a way to how to handle guys like Scheifele and Connor, who are just incredible hockey players, man. Those two guys controlled the game.
That set play, too, at the end.
Amazing.
Scheifele, he just gets lost. Then all of a sudden they find him with the puck, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Zips it right over to Connor.
Yeah. You could see Connor.
How was Benner?
Benner made some great saves. Some of those goals in and around the net, listen, that's going to be the series. Who owns that area of the ice at both ends of the ice?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, so far in the first game, you probably have to give that advantage to Winnipeg.
Hellebuyck didn't look like...
Hellebuyck's going to score it up high.
I know, baby.
I think 27 of his starts this past year, he allowed 1 or 0 goals in the game. And if he's going to continue to let in, 3 goals a game, whatever,
okay,
we'll see if that continues. I want to see him have a great playoff game if I'm a Jets fan. I've never really seen him do that. He's never been great in the playoffs. Every time I watch him play, he just doesn't, wow me. The team does. And I know Hellebuyck has a reputation, and he's considered the best goaltender in the world. He's very, very good. He plays tight. He's under control. But, even when Lundqvist, you could tell he's just like, man, he plays way too deep in his net. You look at the Kyrou goal, he was screened, but, he's probably playing a little bit too deep in that specific
That was a nice shot, though, man.
That if he was playing maybe a little more outside of the net, maybe he would have been able to find the puck and track it and make the save. But, no, it was a hell of a shot and great screen in front by Sundqvist.
What's the injury update on Ehlers and those guys?
So Ehlers is probably going to be out for the playoffs, or at least for the first round, I should say.
Okay, kind of like the Holloway situation.
Yeah.
Velarde,
they think they might get back.
Player.
He's really good, man.
Jesus, man.
He had 12 power play goals on the year, more than 60 points. This guy's a big part of what they do.
You got to stay out of the box against these guys. You just have to. I know Bolduc had that penalty. They didn't score on the power play, but that slows your team down.
It just slows it down.
No shit, it slows it down. These guys are blocking shots out the ass now. You got Cole Parayko out there blocking shot. It puts you in a jam. It just does.
So, listen, it's one game.
It's one game, baby. No big deal.
We'll see what happens in Game 2, but I don't want to call Game 2 a must-win, but, I think once in Blues history, out of 18 times, have they ever come from behind when being down 2-0 in a series?
You got to win up there, Andy. You got to win up there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I don't know if you want to come back to St. Louis being down 2-0.
No. Hell no. It's not easy to win up there. Would they lose 4 games all year at home?
Who, Winnipeg?
Winnipeg,
yeah.
Something like that. Handful of games. It's not a nice locker room. It's not nice. It's not a nice.
Yeah, but their fans were into it, man.
I know. The fans are all white out. 5 o'clock game on a Saturday. Hell yeah, baby. Then we have another 12 o'clock game next Sunday.
I know.
Then an 8:30 game Tuesday. I'm like, whew.
I think 8:30 on Thursday.
On Thursday, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then a 12 o'clock noon game. I love that, dude.
I like that.
Love that. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary's chilling out, baby. God, yeah. Anyway.
So, listen, the first game, sometimes it can set the tone for a series, but I look at the first game in round 1 a little bit different. Like sometimes
It's a wake-up call.
It's a
Guys,
feeling out
no
process.
doubt. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it.
They always say you're never out of a series until you lose at home anyway.
Yeah, you got to win up there, man. It's not easy to do. You got to squeak a win out.
Yeah. How do you feel?
You got to tighten up at the
How
end
do
of
you
the game.
feel tonight's game will go?
I think
Because
pretty
they're
good.
going to hear you tomorrow. Oh, really?
I think pretty good. I'm optimistic about the Blues tonight. You got to
Okay.
tighten up at the end of the games, though. You're letting teams score
Late. That's been a trend
late.
all
What
season.
the
Yeah.
How many goals now? That after like a minute left, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You got to bear down at the end of games, man. You really do.
What do you think of that Connor?
He's unreal. No one even talks about him.
So
He just does his thing. He's so
watch
quick.
what he does
So
right when
so
Scheifele wheels around the back of the net and receives the pass.
It's open.
He right away.
He finds that little
He
lane.
almost loses his balance.
Dude, he knows
turning
exactly.
backwards. And how he can get that much on the shot when he just regained his balance and he's skating backwards, receiving a missile of a
He's
pass.
done this a million
that's
times.
going like 95 miles per hour, that pass.
They work on that every day, probably, dude. Him opening up real quick and ripping pucks.
That Kyle
Right.
Connor, man, I saw him play in the USHL years
God,
ago.
he's good.
And he led the league in goal scoring. Then he goes to college, and his freshman year, he led the country in goal scoring. All he does is score goals.
He's
And USA
fast.
doesn't play him in the Four Nations Championship game. How dumb do they look for that?
Now, they did play him in one game, and he didn't do too
He didn't
much.
do much in any
So
of the games he
we're
played.
evaluating at the time and place. Right now, I mean, he looked pretty damn
How does
good.
Scheifele not make Team Canada?
Good God, is he good? What they're hidden or something?
know.
What are we doing? Is there anybody watch? Well, they don't. I mean, do we watch
I
him
think
down here that much?
Canada was probably like, let's work in some young guys who we think are going to be part of the Olympics and part of the program moving forward. So they brought in Jarvis and some of these other guys.
Whoa, man,
Konechny.
I like him too, though.
I do.
You know,
I just would find a place for Mark Scheifele.
at the time he was dominating.
He's an elite player.
He's
man.
good, man. That whole Winnipeg team's pretty damn good.
Their defense is,
They're big.
and their forwards are too.
Yeah, you got big guys. You got Adam Lowry's mean, dude. He's hard to deal with. He is. Like he pushes you in front of the net. Like he hits you behind the net.
They're a
Like,
little motivated, and
Hell yeah, they
have
are.
a different mentality to their team
Stanley's mean.
this year versus what we've seen in the past with their failures in the playoffs. Eventually, you're going to crack through. You keep making the playoffs every year.
They had some
Eventually,
good
you're going
teams,
to
dude.
crack through. Great teams.
Remember they had fucking Bufflin, killing guys all the time.
And
they did.
Wheeler and all these guys.
Wheeler, yeah. Tyler Myers.
Yeah.
They had some guys, man. You know,
They're getting guys to sign there now.
yeah, because they've been good.
You know what I mean?
Helps when you're good.
Like when Scheifele and Hellebuck sign, and now you see Pionk sign long term, and you got Iafallo signing, who's a hell of a player too.
Yeah, he is.
He was good in L.A., man, playing with
I
Kopitar,
know.
scoring big goals.
You know who else is good for the Avalanche? Was Lehkonen.
Oh, yeah.
When he come from Montreal,
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
I know.
Are you out of your damn mind? Look at his stats, dude. Look
Yeah,
at his stats in the playoffs. You let him go. There's some big time mistakes that go down.
Oh, my God.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
To where if I was an owner of a team, I'd be like, the fuck?
I know. Like,
You
could
set
you
us
imagine
back.
being the owner and, like,
Are
your
you
GM
kidding?
is just making fucking one mistake after the next?
And they go and they perform other places in crucial times. Whoa. What are we doing?
And you gave up nothing for him?
Nothing. You got him like, they're like this. Is this going down?
Did you
Like,
not?
is this going down?
Did
Oh my
you
God,
not
we got
know
him.
he could play?
You weren't watching? There's no little hints. Interesting. It's tough, man. Tough to be a GM.
Everyone's saying LA is going to beat Edmonton.
LA
but
don't play,
either does
Andy.
McDavid, dude.
That's right.
McDavid and Draisaitl don't play.
How is Draisaitl?
They're going to be playing.
You know,
We've seen
How was
him
Brady?
play with significant injuries.
how's Matthew going to be?
Matthew's going to play in game one.
I'm just asking how he's going to
He's gonna
be
be fine.
when he does play.
I think he'll be okay.
I'm just asking.
Who you
It's a big-
taking in that series?
Andy, god dang, boy. Man,
Florida
I can't
or
wait.
Tampa?
Florida. I kind of have to go Tampa because of the fact that Florida must be so fucking banged up
And
and
tired.
tired. It's such a grind for 2 years like that, man. You've been to the pinnacle, then they get to come back, and now you get to build back up. It's crazy how
They bring
much
in some
effort.
players, though, that can ignite some injury, like Marchand, obviously.
sure he'll score some big time
Seth
goals.
Jones is playing a ton of minutes.
Yeah, You know, you got some players, you got winners, man. You got a great captain. You got every piece. I just think that your body could only handle so much.
Yeah, no, it's tough. Like they've been to the final for 2 years.
Fucking
in a row.
7-hour goddamn plane ride to Edmonton. Don't forget about that. That ages you like no other.
So who you taking, Edmonton or
I told
LA?
you. Wait, what?
Edmonton.
Oh, Edmonton or LA.
Mhm.
I thought I said Tampa there.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going LA, Andy.
Are you? A lot of people are. It's nothing. You're not
Is
going
there a
out
lot
on
of
the
people you
limb.
think? A lot of
Oh,
people are?
I think so. They've got home ice advantage. They were one of the best home teams in the
The
league.
last Mike Johnson, too.
I'm taking Edmonton. I just
Yeah, I don't blame
I don't
you.
see McDavid losing in the first round. When I watched him play against
I get
St.
you.
Louis down the stretch, his first game back from injury, you just can't. What do you do to stop him?
You got 3 badass centers.
Now the question is going to be,
LA's got 3 badass
yeah,
centermen,
I know.
dude.
And can they?
Quentin Byfield ain't no joke.
Can Edmonton get the goaltender?
You know,
How many goals are they going to have to score to win?
Enough. You know, Danault's going to have to shut guys down. You got Kopitar.
They were crying about the way Edmonton played them
I
at
saw
the
that.
end of the regular season.
I know. Corey Perry's like,
They're
"What the
trying to
fuck's he
hurt
saying?"
us.
Our B squad, he's playing in the playoffs. He's playing in the playoffs. He's playing, you know. You can only put so many players in.
Well, look at the guys that were hurt. I mean, they needed to fill the lineup,
Yeah.
the roster. And they were playing hard. And like I
So-
do the same thing. If you're playing against this team
Nurse was
in
a
a
little
couple
dirty.
of days in the playoffs, he got suspended, didn't he? In a
Yeah.
game.
Little cross check. Does it bother me that much? No. I don't get all bent out
Not
of
having
shape.
Ekholm, though, is going to hurt Edmonton. That's a
Yeah.
big loss.
Ekblad, Ekholm, all the X.
Eriksson Ek.
Eriksson Ek. Good God. What else we got? There's a couple more. Are they all related?
A lot of X.
You know. But this is going to be interesting.
I expect a big game from St. Louis, though, tonight, man. I feel like, they're going to have a
I agree. I
little
think they're
bit of
gonna
a
come back.
bounce back. But
Yeah.
Winnipeg's not going away. This is a different Winnipeg
They're
feel
damn good.
than what I've
It's going to be
seen
interesting.
from them in recent years. Even in 2019, I felt like the Blues, based off of how they were playing, and they climbed all the way up to the 3 seed that year. I just felt like they would beat Winnipeg that year in the playoffs.
Yeah, they had some tricky goals, man. And Hollebuck could have made some big saves, and he didn't. The Schwartz goal with 10
But this
seconds
year,
left.
I just felt like it was going to be a little bit of a challenge. When you exhaust that much energy just to get into the playoffs, you got to
Yeah.
win 12 consecutive games, and you still have to. It still comes down to the last game of the regular season. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Wears
win
you out.
12 straight, and it still comes down to the last game of the regular season.
Where's you out, homie?
I got to get back to Ottawa, though. Their goaltender, Linus Ullmark, because he is the difference for Ottawa. Obviously they get into the playoffs this year. They get a goaltender. Everyone knew they needed a goaltender. When I hear him talk, like after games and his press conferences, and then you read the comments. I mean, I'm not always on the same page with the comments. People think he's too loose, too nonchalant, doesn't care, whatever. I think he does care, but he is interesting how he interacts with the media. I can't tell if he's pissed, angry, annoyed, or just really calm and relaxed.
I think he's probably a little bit of everything,
Mhm.
but the way he presents himself, like he did in that press conference after game 1, I know he's getting chirped a little bit for that. I didn't mind it at all. He's like, no, man, I was all right. I got to fix a couple things. I'm going to assess it. I already assessed a couple things. I'm going to go home. I'm going to do this. I don't want my goalie being like, oh, Terrell's terrible, up and down. Just
He's got to be better.
He's got to be better. He knows that. He's saying the right thing. It doesn't bother me. I
Mhm.
like when my goalies chill like
Yeah.
that and just kind of like, I got to figure some things out. There's nothing I can do right now about it.
Yeah.
We got a day. I got to chill. I'm going to work on a couple things. I'm going to look at video, and we're going to go from there.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I'm a player and I watch him do that, I'm like, man, I get that.
Yeah.
It chills you out a little bit.
Yeah. They were complaining to the referees a lot.
Stop that.
I hate that.
Perry, Giroux, all you guys, man, you're a little too loud. You're bitching at the linesman too.
Giroux's bitching with
what are we doing?
with Lawton, his
Stop.
former teammate. They're going at it nonstop.
Chill out a little bit. Chill out.
That's where
they got you.
I know.
They got you.
You're right.
They got you.
Yeah.
They pissed you off. They got in your skin. You guys are cross-checking. Brady was a non-factor.
Mhm.
You got to figure out your game again and what works. And Toronto Maple Leafs, man, they did everything right in that game, and they pissed you off. And when you're yelling at the refs like that, you think those refs are like, I'm listening.
Mhm.
No, they're like, fuck you.
I'm going to ask
I'm going to get you.
Mike Johnson about this because, Marner's taken so much heat over the years in the
Sick
playoffs, and he
Rago.
played so good
Sick
yesterday, man. He plays so much calm. He just looks like he's a completely different player since the Four Nations. I feel like that Four Nations tournament has completely changed his reputation, man.
Well, he turned up big in it.
And he just played calm and relaxed. Now he
confident
just
now.
looks competent and calm now, too.
Yeah. He made some big-time plays, baby, to win that damn thing.
Who's
And
the
he's
best
praised.
player on that team?
That's a damn good question.
You know
It's
what I
Mitch
mean?
Marner. Maybe Nylander. Nylander's pretty damn good
Fuck,
too.
he's so
God, he's good. He controls the play, Andy. Doesn't get hit. Like
No.
he doesn't get hit. You ever see him get
Would
really hit?
you put both those players over Matthews?
I noticed him more
Mm-hmm.
in that game. I watched that damn game,
Yeah.
dude. I noticed those
Matthews
two.
kind of had a quiet year for his standards, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, when he puts up 70, which whatever it was
Right.
the other night, or the other year, I'm like he was loud all
Yeah,
year. This
yeah.
year, he's probably banged up a little
yeah,
bit.
probably
You
it's
know?
got to be.
Yeah, but those guys, man, they had that game. That was their game.
Yeah,
Ottawa looked foolish, taking penalties, loud, bitching. Man, you got to chill out. Chill out.
yeah.
You know,
Just calm down.
calm down a little bit. Do your thing. You know, make some good hits.
You know, the
Slow 'em
Blues.
down
The
a little
Blues
bit.
used to get like that, where they would be just always complaining and bitching
Stop.
and whatever. And then when Chief took over, it just calmed down.
Calm down.
You had the hand pass and all that stuff that took
Yeah,
place back
and
in
they chilled out.
2019,
Yes.
and everything just kind of calmed down.
He didn't say anything
Where
afterwards.
it was the Blues' way to like flip out. They were very emotional under the previous regime and whatnot. I think that carried over. You know, even going back to the time with Ron Caron and all these guys, man, they were always very emotional, complaining. Everything was always a complaint. You know,
Gotta
they hadn't
stop.
won in so many years.
Yeah.
That's why winning is so important. But, you know, like the St. Louis men, I do want to say this. Like, I know you want to make it a competitive series, but I think just getting into the playoffs is
Yeah.
almost a win.
Yeah, it
They're
is,
ahead of
for
schedule.
sure.
And getting experience and having guys like Neighbors and having Snuggerud play in these big games,
It's good, man.
it's only going to
It's
help
healthy.
them
Yeah, I know.
down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's already a winning season.
And Minnesota's probably looking at it the same way. People are complaining and be like, "What's Bulliam doing out there? End of the game, 6-on-5." You know what? Like,
I look at Minnesota differently, dude.
it's a little bit different because, like,
yeah.
you know, you're throwing this guy into the fire. And I wonder what the other defensemen on the bench are thinking. Like, okay, I'm sitting here. He's playing his first ever career NHL
College
game,
boy.
and he's out there. Although he was a high draft pick, and he's been great everywhere he's been. But it's his first ever NHL game. I think sometimes too soon, too fast, pump the brakes, let him ease into it. Don't put him in position to fail. Put him in position to where he's going to have success because, you know, now he's probably, I don't want to say hurting confidence because he seems like such a confident player, but, you know, you put him out there in a situation like that, you can get exposed when you make a mistake and then it's highlighted and that's all he's going to hear about and see for the next couple of days. You want him coming out of his first ever NHL experience feeling good about himself, you know?
Yeah, but it's hard to do sometimes. But I will say that I think Minnesota's in a completely different spot than St. Louis as far as they need to fucking win, man.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, like the Blues are like, whoa, we squeaked in. What, this is
Right.
supposed to be a retool.
Oh,
Minnesota's
I
like,
agree with that.
no. The cap problem's gone. We got our guys. We have our superstar. We got some young talent.
Yeah.
We got the goalies right now. Like, let's go.
Right.
So, I don't know. The Blues, like, you made the play. If they get smoked in this series, it's like, okay, rebuild, let's fix a couple things,
Yeah.
but we're okay. This is where we're going.
Yeah, you're heading
You're heading in the
up.
right direction.
Regardless of how the series goes,
Yeah.
St. Louis has raised the bar heading
Damn
into
right.
next season.
Yes.
Where I look at them heading into next year, where they should finish in the top 3 in the division
I think
and
they'll be
compete for
competitive.
home ice advantage in the
Yep.
first round.
Got to be very competitive. Now, the Central Division ain't easy. You know, who knows what Nashville's going to do, but Dallas and Colorado and Winnipeg, Minnesota.
A couple of firings around the league.
Yeah, I saw that. Cronin.
Cronin seemed like he was just hated in Anaheim.
That's what I heard. Like
The players,
You hear
like
that.
he's very old school, almost
Yeah.
drill sergeant-ish. I remember watching them a couple times in the morning skate. I just felt like they had no energy. And now Pat Verbeek comes out and says he expects them to make the playoffs next year. It's like, I don't know if that's what I would say. Put that type of pressure on Anaheim. I don't think they're ready for the playoffs next season. They do have some really good young players, and I think eventually they're going to become good. Next year, maybe 1 year too soon. We'll see how it plays out, but tell me who their coach is going to be before I can say
that they're going to make
that
the
they're going to
playoffs.
make the playoffs.
I agree. But I just heard weird things about Cronin. Don't know the guy, so it's hard to.
Yeah, but I know the guys. I know guys who played for him in college who love him.
Yeah, so see,
They loved him in college.
You know, sometimes it's, you know, you hear one thing from players, but then
But you
there's a
can't
mixture
coach
of-
NHL players the same way you did college
Yeah.
players, though. Too.
It's different. It's totally different. But
What do you think about Peter Laviolette?
I mean, you thought that we didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, I know.
You know, what a disaster that organization's
Just
been.
a disaster.
And then how about like the weird drama?
What's going on with that?
with that girl? She was handing out pills to the guys.
What kind of
What
pills?
Adderall? cheesy Adderall hookup. That's kind of nice to have. But those guys get drug tested for that too, so you better be careful
Is
with that.
Adderall
At
illegal?
performance enhancing, you'd have to have a note from a doctor. Some
Prescription.
guys prescription
We
from
call
a doctor.
that, yeah.
Yeah, you have a doctor's note.
A note from the doctor. We
They-
call it a
people fucking know.
prescription.
But and then she talks about Panarin. Panarin did some weird things to her, like,
Mhm.
you know. And I'm like, interesting. I don't know about that. Show me some more evidence on that bad boy.
You need more evidence.
I need more evidence on that. Now Panarin, I'm handing out drugs to everybody, and then Panarin did something to me. Oh, okay, interesting. You have proof? Like, what do you do? Is there text messages? What do we got? Maybe there is. I haven't seen those yet. So interesting. Just drama in New York City, baby. Drama in the Big Apple. That's what happens.
Who should coach that team? I'd like to see Quimble get a chance, although part of me says I don't want him walking into that situation.
Oh, God. Go to Utah. Go to
I told you John Cooper's going to end up in Utah one day.
Go somewhere that's not loud. Utah's probably
they looked terrible in the last game of the regular season.
Well, they won 7 to whatever the night before
against Nashville.
And they're probably like, "Bah, get me out of here."
Terrible.
They're terrible. Jesus. I think they still did pretty good with the attendance down there, which is kind of cool to see.
All right, we got lots of hockey talk, hardcore hockey talk coming up with Mike Johnson. Let's get to that. Let's cut this a little bit short so we can get to Mike on time. Do you take your creatine today?
Oh my God, man! You've been taking yours. You look a lot bigger.
Do I?
Yeah.
Thank you. I got a lot more. I got a lot more energy. Also, even on a Monday, do I have energy? Creatine, man. Cam and Strick podcast. Use our link, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Take that creatine today. Get the energy drinks. Get whatever you want, man. They've got so many options for you, from protein to bars. I gave my girls yesterday. They were a little dehydrated. Little hydration stick.
Yeah, I got those right here.
They love the strawberry flavored, man. It's fantastic. Everything you need.
Between games for Chloe, these beef sticks right here. These things are 20 grams of protein, makes you horny. Told you guys that. And like, we have a long day today because we're doing this, and we got Mike Johnson right afterwards. So I'm going to eat a couple of these bad boys in between. Fills my stomach. That's all I need.
I'll bring a box of those and put them in the on a table in the middle of the locker room, like the boys.
They're gone.
Like they're in the
seconds.
NHL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're just eating those things.
Yeah, Ty. I like, this is sharp cheddar, but I like the barbecue.
The best one,
the barbecue one's really good too.
Really?
And they got a jalapeno one.
Yeah,
they got
those
a bunch.
are good too. The jalapeno cheddar.
It's just easy between periods. Fucking, you're playing between games, whatever. You need something in your stomach, man. Sometimes it's hard to eat a big meal before you go play. I hate doing it. I don't like eating big meals before I come on here.
Yeah.
So it's just good to snack. And so that's why I love these beef sticks.
Jersey Generator. Here's my jersey right here. I don't know.
Talking to the mic, Andy.
JerseyGenerator.com. Jersey Generator.
Rookie.
Can you see my jersey right here?
Shit.
JerseyGenerator.com, baby. You got the home and the away. You want a Cam and Strick jersey, tell them you want that one. You can get any jersey made. They'll do one for your entire team, youth hockey organizations, men's league. But if you own a bar or a restaurant or a business and you just want to have a hockey jersey hanging on the wall inside your establishment,
dang right,
with your logo on it, dude, they'll make that for you.
Hell yeah.
JerseyGenerator.com. Check it out. Mark will take care of you. He's an entrepreneur. From Montreal.
Yeah, he's a good kid. And he does a damn good job because we love our logo so much. And sometimes we've had people try to put that on other things and it didn't look as sharp.
Use the promo code Andy10.
Or Cam10. Andy or Cam10. Do whatever you want.
Andy10
whatever
or Cam10. You're trying to confuse the people.
No, but you could do both, though.
Yeah, you could use either way.
Either one. Cam or Andy.
So
10.
It's the same amount of... It's
basically, who do you like better?
Yeah. So let me know who you choose. Andy10 or Cam10.
Yeah.
Which one do you go with? Jersey Generator, baby. TrueFloat.ca, man. I love those guys, too. They just re-upped with us also. Great to have the Alberta shit kickers back on board with us.
I put that beer in the cooler, and I drank it all. And like 3 days later, I'm like, damn, ice is still in there. I open up, fucking ice is still in there.
You're kidding me. Still,
now, it wasn't that hot out at that point, but it was 75, 80 degrees it got to.
You still have real ice cubes in there? That's amazing.
Dude, that's how you do it.
TrueFloat.ca.
Not like that other bullshit.
Who are you talking about?
Who do you think?
Yeah.
I don't even want to bring their name.
Yeah. The pussies.
The pussies. I tell you what, I've had one of those coolers, and that's certainly not the case. You're in the sun for a little bit. That thing fucking water everywhere, contaminated.
Dense.
Get out of here. Not with these. Not TrueFloat.
No.
Damn good.
They've got the heated chairs, too, and they can put your logo on the cooler, which is even more so amazing. So if you've got like golf tournaments or any auctions and stuff like that, get one of these bad boys. Get a cooler with your logo on it.
Yeah.
Get a heated chair with your logo on it. They've got cups. They got everything. I got to bring that cooler back into the studio. I'll do that next week.
Yeah.
For you to check
The
out.
heated chairs are beautiful too.
They got coolers with wheels, but they are honestly better quality than Yeti. It's not even close. These are the best quality coolers you're going to find anywhere. And they make them out of Alberta, which tells you.
Well, they're shit kickers, you know. And like there's somebody, it's still cold at times. You want that heated chair if your kid's playing baseball, you're outside all the time. Like it's just nice.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only one really with a heated chair, badass chair with your logo on it. You look kind of cool. With the cooler that you bring up too. I don't know.
Any logo you want. Even ask them for a Cam and Strick one. They'll make that for you.
Damn right.
Too. Nothing wrong with that. Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com.
Yeah.
We got so many things happening with Hat Launch. Again, get your hat made. Number one source for customized hats in the entire country, really in all of North America. You can have any logo put on your hat. Quick turnaround. I think they get it to you in like 2 weeks, which is unbelievable.
Really
They'll
quick.
create logos for you. If you want your own logo, you can give them that. All different options. I know a lot of people who have used Hat Launch like, damn, dude, that has been absolutely unbelievable. Every time I see somebody who's got like a hat, I'm always like, where'd you get your hat, dude? Who's doing your hats? Because I know you're not getting the best deal. I know you're not getting the best deal unless you're using Hat Launch. So check out hatlaunch.com and do that today. Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Right there in Swansea, Illinois, baby. Let's go.
I saw Chrissy at a recent game. Always good to catch up with him. Took my wife to Olive Oak the other day, too, which obviously he's got family involved in that business. So he was very happy that I went there. Very good for the business, probably.
Did you tip properly?
Of course.
Never seen Andy pay for anything, so I'm curious on how he tips.
That's not true. Why would you say such a thing?
When did you pay for anything
What do you
ever
mean?
with us? With anything?
Well, when I'm at
anything.
dinner with you, maybe I just didn't pay that day. I think we all threw down,
I've
actually.
never seen. Well, I don't even know what credit card
Do
you
I need to
I don't even
tell
know
them what happened to your credit card?
It didn't work one time, and it
Why
was
didn't it work?
very embarrassing.
Insufficient funds, she
It
said.
and she yelled it.
She yelled it. She's like, sir, insufficient funds.
I go, God damn, woman.
At a business meeting with
They'll
Hat
come
Launch.
tell me.
With Hat Launch. Cam's like, oh, I got it.
I got it.
Hands his credit card. She
Andy's
comes
like,
back. She's like, sir, insufficient funds.
I'm like, son of a bitch. She got the fucking microphone and announced it to everybody. Like, why would you do that? Just fucking write it down on a piece of paper. I got another one. God damn.
Illinois Recovery Center, though. Cam, tell them about it.
It's Swansea, Illinois, baby. They will help you. They want to help you.
All of Swansea was at the game when Clayton Keller was here.
To help you. That's Illinois Recovery Center. Get a hold of me, get a hold of Andy, get a hold of Chrissy, Jacob Miller, Eric Conley. Look them up on Facebook. They're on everywhere. Chrissy has his own podcast too, talking about all kinds of different people that've been in there and went through addiction, and they tell their story. Which, if you've been through it, man, you like to hear other people talk about it because it makes you feel like you're not on a fucking island by yourself. Well, you're not, because you got Swansea, Illinois, right there. That's the Illinois Recovery Center.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
No doubt about it.
Boltsports.ca, baby.
Hell yeah.
I see all these kids using these stick handling apparatuses to improve their stick handling, and they are the dangler from Bolt Sports. Get the dangles today. They got the dangle bars. You can get an individual one, you can get 2 of them, you can get 3 of them, and the app tells you all these different little drills you can do. You can go forehand, backhand, forehand, toe drag.
Some of us can.
Oh, you want to go one-on-one with me?
Yeah.
On the dangler?
Yeah, I do.
No problem.
Yes, I do.
I'll do
anything against you.
Maybe I'll bring it in tomorrow.
I'll do skating, stick handling, running, jumping, catching, throwing, whatever you want to do.
Fine.
And we'll film it.
Okay.
No big deal.
I'm ready for the challenge, dude.
Yeah, all right.
They've got many different things to choose from. First off, the app is amazing, so that kind of walks you through everything. But they've got the dangle bar. They've got the snipes where you can put the targets into the net.
I went over to Andy's house the other day.
And they all light up and everything. I was like, I'm away out of the house.
No. I was like, let's go downstairs and shoot some pucks. Like, we could have done that.
He's like, let's shoot some pucks. I was like,
so
what?
Andy's like, I gotta go. I go, can't we just hang for a little bit? Let me check it out. I gotta go. And then I leave, and he pulls up and pulls a U and goes back into his house.
No, I didn't.
So I know he just wanted me to leave. And you got 3 kids. Maybe the house is like dirty or something. But I wanted to hang out and shoot pucks.
What are you talking about? My wife pulled up.
I wanted to shoot pucks in the basement. You didn't want to do it. And I'm like,
I was out the door.
Big time. Yeah, I know.
I didn't know you were coming at that time.
Yeah, you did.
No, it just
I
so
just wanted to
happened
hang out. I
as
just wanted to
I
hang
was leaving.
If Andy came over to my house, I'd have fucking Bloody Marys, mimosas. Kate would have decorated everything. And, you know, like she would have had all kinds of stuff laid out for him. I just wanted to shoot some pucks.
Okay, well, next time.
If Ty was
We'll
there,
do that.
I just wanted.
You're like, I mean, he's at school.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was Saturday. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, it was not Saturday. It was a Friday.
It was a Friday. My bad on that.
Yeah.
You wanted me nowhere.
So boltsports.ca, get the e-cones for agility and speed. Those light up. The snipes all light up, which is cool. Your kid can play with it on his app, and his teammate can be at home also, and they're competing against each other. It's super cool. And honestly, if you want to get your kid like elevated in terms of his skill level, like these are the types of things you got to be able to do.
Hell yeah.
You know, you just have to do that. No question about that. All right, Blue Note Roofing. Our boy David Novak. Cam's texted me yesterday about the storms. Storms are coming.
Yeah, they were. Nothing bad.
You overreacted to it.
I just said storms are coming.
But
and
the game kept getting interrupted.
You weren't down south. They got rocked a little bit by some headwinds. No big deal.
Out in Illinois, too.
See, well, there you go. Then, yeah, storms
did
come.
South?
Well, south got hit, and then that's east.
East, yeah.
It's all good.
There's certain towns.
But like, just because it didn't affect you doesn't mean it's not affecting other people.
Okay, fine.
You only think about yourself.
Well, you
don't think about other people.
You act like it's coming to get me.
It didn't hit me like the fucking more tornado. No, nothing happens. Like, no, it killed 150 people.
You act like it's coming to get me.
Well, that's not by me, so it didn't happen. No, it did happen. Just didn't affect you.
Okay, well, you act like it's coming to get me.
I just said it could have. Storms were coming.
Okay.
Jesus. What will I do?
Well, Blue Note.
Listen to me once in a while.
You know who else is coming? Is Blue Note Roofing.
I know. He's going to be coming to my house. For sure.
You're wasting his time.
It won't be him. It'll be probably somebody that's going to make a little extra money.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
You don't have to do it.
Okay, fine.
You don't have to do it if you don't want paid.
Gutters, soffit fascia, roofing, siding, whatever it is you're looking for, man, they take care of that. 314-920-5713.
Yeah, baby.
Blue Note Roofing, proud sponsor of the Camera
He's watching these Blues games. I'll tell you that right now. And he's going to get up and work his ass off after watching 8:30, 8:45.
How do you define shit kicker?
He's a worker, dude. This sumbitch is a worker.
Yeah.
Like, if you own a company and you want to hire him because fucking he is in the morning,
detailed.
Gets up,
yeah.
and he works all fucking day.
Yeah.
And he keeps going and going until he's like, I got to take maybe a day off.
I got to go to the game tonight.
I got to go. And he goes to games.
Every game.
It's unbelievable.
David Novak.
He's a worker, man. He's a construction dude. He's
314-920-5713. Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swing Index. Told you guys that a million goddamn times. A million times.
Say hi to Danny, boy.
Danny, the fuck you doing, boy?
Say hi to Kenny.
Kenny.
Dale.
Happy Easter. He is risen. Love you guys, man. You guys are awesome. Might need to be coming out there to talk to you about a vehicle, just so everybody
Cam
knows.
needs a truck. It's so embarrassing.
My truck.
He's ruining the brand with his truck that he's driving right
It's the
now.
why. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. No, it's fine.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
And he makes fun of me about my finances.
No, I don't. It's fine.
Like, it's still expensive to get one. I could do it.
It looks way newer than I thought it would. It's a shit kicker from back in the day.
It's paid off.
It's great.
See, Andy keeps up with the Joneses. I don't do that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Andy has to keep up with the Joneses. Andy has to keep up with the Joneses. I don't.
I like your truck.
I don't. I
like your truck.
But I might have to go to goddamn Bellman.
Where are they located?
Troy, Missouri. I might have to go to goddamn
Buick
Bellman.
GMC on one side of the street, on the other side.
I want something.
Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Cam's looking at that Jeep.
I
Small
want a new
wheels,
truck.
2-door. Pink Jeep. Flames on the side.
I want a new truck. Club cab. Badass. Black on black, baby.
They'll give you sushi and flavored water there, too. So they take care of you.
Black.
Yeah.
Black on black.
Black on black, baby.
That's what I do.
All right, Mike Johnson, MJ, baby.
Let's go.
Let's talk some pucks. With the TSN analyst, longtime NHLer, joins us now on the Cam and Strick Podcast. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/camandstrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview.
Absolutely.
You got a good gig. How much do you love doing the TV, man? Did you always want to get involved in TV? Who's the first person that came up to you and said, hey, listen, you should give this a shot and look into it?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I mean, I have a good degree in business, right? Like, so I was planning on being like a Wall Street guy. That was my life aspirations. So TV was like, after I played in the NHL, I did a little bit of that. You know, when they bring current players into the studio. Yeah. So I did that for 1 or 2 years, And the year I played, I think in St. Louis with Cam, like I was hurt, so I went to the trade deadline at the Score with like Coolius and like Ludzik and those guys. So I did a little bit when I played, and then I figured as a way to kill time until I wanted to start my real career, I would just like, I'd float around and try it. And then it was Darren Dreger. He called me like on a Friday night. He's like, listen, you want to do a radio show tomorrow? I'm like, well, who canceled? It's like 11 o'clock. What are you talking about? It's like, yeah, just go do it. It's like a national radio show from Gretzky's restaurant in Toronto. Anyways, I did that. And then like that led into like NHL Network TV stuff. And then it just sort of started. I got a job like as a stockbroker guy, but then I never started it. I just started doing TV, and then it just became a thing.
Do you ever look at this stockbroking thing and be like, man, I probably could be making a ton of money? Or you just like, no, this is what I want to do. This is my passion. I watch hockey and I talk about it basically.
Both. 100, like absolutely, like sort of curiosity, because that was supposed to be my life. Would I have been successful at it? Right? Like I never planned to play in the NHL, right? So I was going to start when I was 22 and have a full normal business world life. So part of me wonders if I would have been successful. I'd like to think I would have been, but I don't know. I might not have been. I've been terrible at it. But there's days where I'm like, yeah, I could go do that now, and I'd probably be okay at it. But then there's days I'm like, I love this job that I have.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome. Like it's hockey, it's fun, it's lifestyle. Like I like to travel, like staying involved in the game. I like my summers to be quiet. Like it's the life I know, and that doesn't appeal to me to change the life I know. It's a beautiful life we got.
Yeah, no, man, it's a great situation. You're set up nicely. Bowling Green, though, you played your college hockey at Bowling Green. I bet you a lot of people don't even know where Bowling Green is, but they had good. It's in Ohio, right?
We have one in Missouri.
Is it in Ohio?
You got one in Kentucky, right? Western Kentucky and Bowling Green.
There's a couple
Kentucky.
different ones. But the Bowling Green was I knew a Bowling Green as a kid. Like it was kind of like a hockey school. You had a lot of guys that went there. So how did you end up at Bowling Green? Like, were you a late bloomer? Like, was the NHL always on the trajectory? Like, how do you end up there to play college hockey growing up in Canada?
It's a bit of not the normal road. So late bloomer would not even begin to describe it. Like at times I'm still thinking I'm waiting to bloom. Like I'm like, maturity did not hit me till I was 24, literally. So I was small growing up. Loved hockey as a kid. Didn't play hockey in high school. I played basketball and tennis.
No hockey at all in high school?
I played single A. It was like a step above house league. And then in grade 9 and 10, single A, grade 10 and 11 and 12, double A. Back when I was in high school, we went to grade 13 in Ontario. So my grade 13 year, my sister was a really good athlete, far better than me. She was on a soccer scholarship to Florida. So I'd seen my sister get a scholarship. So I'm like, well, I'm not good at hockey, but you never know. I'll try out for these tier 2 teams to go get a scholarship. So I tried out for Wexford, which was like a really famous team. They had Anson Carter went there, like good players played there, got cut. Tried out for Pickering, which is next close to where I grew up, got cut. I got cut from 3 teams trying out. Finally made one up in Aurora, which is a suburb of Toronto. Played 8 games. Had 1 assist. That's it. Obviously not good enough to get a scholarship. So I stopped playing my last year of high school. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get a scholarship. That's what I'm doing this for. So I stopped. They changed coaches. New coach came in, said, hey, why don't you come back? We'll try it. I get what you're trying to do. If it doesn't work, you can go away in another month. Tried it again. Worked out better. And this is where it gets a little freaky. So in that league, depending on what position you're in, you got X number of players in the All-Star game. First place, 5 players. Second place, 4 players. Third place, 3 players. My team got 3 players. 3 players clearly deserved to go. I was number 4. One of the 3 guys was already in university in Canada, like a 20-year-old just playing for fun. So without prompting and being asked, he offered up his spot in the All-Star game to me, which is pretty big of him when you're only 20 years old.
Yeah.
So I go play in this All-Star game, and you know what the All-Star games are at that level. They're very serious. Like they're very intense, and every college coach in America comes to watch it. Alan McCauley, who was 4 years younger than me, was in this game. He had 6 points. My team lost 8-1, but I did get 1 assist. That was on Friday. On Sunday, I played back for Aurora. I got the only hat trick I got the entire year that game when there was 50 college coaches there. On Monday morning, I had 5 scholarships. Like, it was
Why were all the college coaches at your game on that Monday?
Because they stayed in the Toronto. Like, they stayed for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they just, they just stayed for the
hung
weekend.
around to go catch a game. Yeah.
Yeah, they watched all the games. Everyone was playing that weekend.
And
so
they
watched
probably
all the
recognized
teams.
your name from playing in the All-Star game too, so maybe they're watching you. But whatever, you got a hat trick in the game.
Were you looking at them like, I'm going to put on a show? I know they're up there watching me. Let's go.
Nah, I wasn't wired that way. I wasn't very good. I wasn't very confident. I was just sort of like quiet and unassuming. I wasn't thinking this is my big moment. I was just like, I don't know. Whatever.
So where were the scholarships?
Yeah.
Where were the offers from?
So BG offered right away. They weren't great hockey playing schools at the time. Northeastern was one.
Okay.
They weren't that good back then. Northern Michigan was one. And then I was good at school. So I like Dartmouth, Cornell, Harvard, Yale, those kind of schools I would apply to. And they didn't give scholarships, but I was also maybe going to go to those schools. So those kind of options. But a lot of the other schools, they're like, we want you to come in another year. They realized I probably wasn't quite good enough. But I'm like, I'm not going to play junior as a 19-year-old and not be in high school and just like play junior. Like, I'm not young blood. Like, I don't care. I'm going to go to university somewhere in Canada or America. I'm getting on with my life. So BG offered me a ride. So it basically came down to BG or like literally Cornell or Yale. Those are my 3 schools.
So Jerry York, he's your coach, but he wasn't really Jerry York yet, right? I mean, he was Jerry York, but not the Boston College legendary Jerry York, right?
No, but I think he won the 84 championship in Bowling Green.
Okay.
So he'd won a national championship before, but he wasn't Hall of Famer Yorkie, no. He was, what's funny though, you can appreciate this, right? Like, your junior coaches, how old do you think they were? Were they 35?
Yeah, young, pretty young. I mean, right. Mike Webster wasn't. He was older. But
when you go to junior, it feels like they're 70. It feels like they're so old. So Yorkie, my freshman year, it was 1993. I felt that he was 65 years old. Like, that's how he felt to me. He was like, quiet and sort of old, he'd come by Sunday mornings with like apples to like check in on you in the dorm. Like, I don't want you Sunday morning in my dorm room. That's a bad place to be. But I think he was only 45, but he felt like he was so old, but he was very nice. Let me play. And then he left after my first year and went to BC. And a guy named Buddy Powers, who was coaching RPI, came, and Buddy was awesome for me. Up-tempo, offense only, go play, go score. And he was a big part of why I eventually developed enough to go play pro.
Yeah, you never played a game in the American League ever, which is just crazy. When you talk about this whole story of like kind of like playing like house league almost in high school, and then never playing a game in the American League. So yeah, I think you had 30 goals, something like that, your last year of college. So what was the turning point? Like, when did you first start hearing from NHL teams where you were like calling home and be like, listen, I think I'm going to sign an NHL contract and play in the NHL, Or were you on the watch list coming into your final year of college, like where people were starting to take notice who you were?
Yeah, I mean, by my 4th year, I was probably known to be relatively good, right? Like, I think my 2nd year, I came 4th in the league in scoring. So pretty good. And then that year, after my 2nd year, they used to have a thing called the supplemental draft, which was for guys who were in college. It's the weirdest thing. Like, Canadian university guys would get picked out of it. Steve Ruchin was sort of like the biggest name guy who was picked out of the supplemental draft. So I would have 100% been picked in the supplemental draft, 100%. But it was canceled because the 94 work stoppage. It didn't exist anymore. But I went to a Team Canada camp, and there were NHL scouts there. Leafs came to my house after my 2nd year and said, we'll watch you. Good luck. We'll see. Broke my wrist my 3rd year, so I only played 26 games or something. And then my last year, honestly, probably by December, I think I got to a great start. Teams were coming around. I was getting in, I can call him an agent now, a family advisor back then. And they were sort of figuring out how to go pro, whether it was pro play American League and then try to make an NHL team, or whether it's pro the NHL team and then the minors for the. I ended up signing in Toronto. I played Friday night, got smoked 8-1 by Michigan. John Madden, Jason Botterill, Brendan Morrison, Marty Turco, like
great team,
yeah,
stacked team. They were so much better than everybody. So unfair. We finished Friday. I signed Saturday morning at like 10 in the morning. Flew to Tampa, played Sunday, and that was it. I played 13 games my end of my senior season in school, and my contract said I'd play in the NHL to the end of the year, but then I had to go to the minors for the playoffs. St. John's, The Rock, like different world.
Yeah.
And we had all kinds of guys, like 8 guys from that team at the end of the year were going to the minors to play. And then Cliff Fletcher, God love him, my guy, Cliff, I owe like a lot to him. He just said, listen, I think you're an NHL player. I don't think you have to go to the minors. Why don't you go back to school and graduate?
Wow.
And Cam, you know, like the minors for me would not have been a good mix.
Oh.
Like my game, my personality would not have liked the minors. Like not the way the game was played and not the way the guys were treated as a young person there.
Yeah.
If I had to play in the minors for 2 years, I probably never would have made the NHL. Because I'm like, I hate this game. This sucks.
Yeah, it's hard on you.
Like it's hard. And it wasn't for me. So I was lucky. And Cliff was great that he let me go back to school, graduate. So I never had to play the minors.
When were you, I mean, you're kind of half in, half out. Like that's tough to be. Like when were you like, okay, that's it. I'm going to start stick handling. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start working out. And were you just like hitting the books the whole time? Like, when were you all in?
I mean, the first day I ever in my life walked into a gym was after I got a scholarship. So I went after my senior year of high school. I started working out knowing that I was going to school the next year. That was the first year. And like I would do my best, but my plan was never to play hockey professionally. Like it was never like my first year, zero aspirations to play hockey professionally. Was not on my radar. I didn't even care. I was like going to get an education to go work on Wall Street. That's what I wanted to do. After my second year, that's probably when I'm like, okay, I probably can play a year or two, have fun, play in Tallahassee, play in Germany, whatever. It kind of grew from there. And then by my last year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a hockey player for a minute anyways.
Yeah, it's a business.
I love the fact that I think your second year in Toronto, you were second on the team in scoring with like 45 points. It was like Sundin had like 70-something points.
Oh.
And then you were like second on the team in scoring. It was like there was like no balance in scoring whatsoever. Like it was like
I led all rookies in scoring that year.
Did
my
you
first
really?
year.
Were you a finalist for the Calder?
I was fourth. Samsonov won it.
Did he?
I was like 5 years older than him at the time, so I get it.
Yeah.
Samsonov won it. Matthias Ohlins Derek Morris. Derek Morris was there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it was me or Patty Eliash. And Patty Eliash, who obviously was a way better player than I ever was, he had 36 points. I had 47. I'm like, it's like 30% more points than you. Why are you getting it? He's on a better team and a better player. But anyways, I was fourth. So, but yeah, I think sometimes as I got older, Cam, you can relate, right? Like sometimes you play with guys and they're better than you, right? And whether like everyone plays with someone better than you, whether you're a top 6 guy or, a 13th guy.
Everybody was better than me.
Well,
it is what it is. But it is what it is.
Right. And guy, like that's how it goes. And some guys don't make you feel bad about that.
There it is.
And some guys are assholes about that. And the guys that are jerks, you're like, it makes your life tougher to be even whatever you could be. And that's what I respect Matt's for, Andy, is that he could have been like, what the hell? I got this guy who 2 years ago was interning to be a stockbroker and he's playing on my line the whole year. What is going on here? And every time I bumbled a pass or didn't finish a chance, he could have given me the energy you get when you're like, the guy's pissed off at you. He never did it. He must have felt it, but he never, ever let me feel it from him. I give him so much respect for that because even like, I was never Matt Sundin, but let's say 8 years later, I'm the leading scorer on Phoenix. I might get a guy called up and I might be like, what the hell's this? Like, and I'm nobody. And he was a Hall of Famer, and he never made you feel it. It was good. That way.
makes all the difference in the world, man.
It does,
because that could have rattled you.
Hell yeah.
Made you feel
For sure.
scared, nervous.
Yep.
You're trying not to make a mistake. That would be difficult.
Always thinking about him. What's he thinking every time in practice? Oh, yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
Do you get nervous before going on TV or no?
No, never.
Look at him.
I mean,
Do you?
I mean, I did when you start, right?
Yeah,
Like you don't want to screw up. You probably talk too fast. Well, not everyone. Some guys look very comfortable, but no, not anymore. I think I've done everything you can sort of do in this business, and what are you gonna do?
You like doing between the benches? You like being up top or between the benches?
I like between the benches.
Yeah, baby.
You better watch out though, Mike. MJ, you've taken a couple hits.
You don't want to get hit in the face.
What kind of Rolex was that they that Giroux broke?
Yeah, that was a tag that Giroux broke.
He buy you a new one?
He did not, and neither did TSN. So I'm out of tag. Seriously, I did a game last week with Rob Ray, who we saw him this year get clipped.
Oh my
hard.
God,
hard, man.
We had him on right before that, actually, like the day before.
Massive, ridiculous. And he's laughing. So we're doing the game together, and undoubtedly Rob Ray is more willing to get hit in the face than I am. This is sort of the way our lives have gone. So the way I work when I'm down there, I'm doing the game, I'm paying attention. But if the puck's coming this way, like I'll go this way by the glass because then it can't like come and hit me. Right? And the puck's going this way. Like I kind of move around so that I am, if it ricochets, I'm not in the line of fire. So it's like bouncing around. I'm like moving around like this, like a boxer. And Rob Ray's like, what are you doing back here? Like, stand still. He's like, stop being such a wimp. I'm like, listen, man, you do it your way. I do it my way. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? But when you're between the benches and the game's good and the game's intense, there's no better place to be. And I think there's no better place to broadcast the game from.
Yeah.
Because while I might not be able to see a controlled breakout as cleanly, right? Because you're down there, there's a lot of stuff going on. What I can bring is what people don't get. Like the emotion, the intensity, the competitive spirit that happens there that is sort of unique to hockey. We get to bring that out. So that's why between the benches is always the best, for sure, especially on a good game.
I hope you stay safe because I don't ever want them to change the rule, where somebody gets seriously hurt, they take a stick to the face or whatever. Now they're going to say, hey, we can't have anybody between the benches. You'll be wearing a helmet.
Listen, you laugh. They suggested it. I 100% swear, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe before COVID. 7 years ago, they're like, listen, we want you to put a helmet on. No visor, but a helmet. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, I just won't do the games from here. I'm not wearing a helmet. Between the benches like an idiot. No way. No way. So yeah, you got to keep your head in a swivel.
Do you work with the same play-by-play guy most of the time, or are you bouncing around with different people?
Largely Gord Miller is the play-by-play guy I work with most of the time. We do all the Toronto games together. We do the Ottawa games together. We do the World Juniors together. We do the World Championships together. So that's most of my games. When I do Montreal games, Brian Mudryk is the play-by-play guy for Montreal, and I work with him. And every guy's got their own style, right? And I work with, I work for Sportsnet, I work for NBC, I've worked for a variety of people, with a lot of play-by-play guys, and everyone's got their own style that you kind of, you work your way into. I'm pretty low maintenance, so I don't have whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. I'll work my way around you. It's not a big deal.
Why do they do some games in Atlanta when they can be live? I think the game the other night with TNT, they were in Atlanta and not Winnipeg.
Yeah, that was at Forsland, right? It was Forsland and Jen Botterill were doing it.
Yeah.
I think there's probably travel considerations, like, because the way the American companies do games now, they don't do like a whole series. They do like just bouncing around. This night's ours, that night's there. So there's probably travel considerations, financial considerations, because it's cheaper to keep people in a sound booth in your home studio. They took some heat for it, though, which I think is good. Like, I think it's important that we keep us in the buildings and not doing, like, COVID, we did it remotely. Like, we had to do it in these sound booths, separated, whatever. And you can do it. It's just not as good.
Yeah.
And I want to, yes, I'm with you, Cam. Like, we want to make sure we're always at the games because that's how you do the best job.
Well, you can tell
Yeah,
It just sounds like you're in a studio.
Yeah, man.
They should have taken some heat. I'm not critical of other broadcasters, but that just, for a Stanley Cup playoff game, we can do better.
Yeah.
The fans deserve better. It's the playoffs. That was not a very good, idea. And broadcast in general, to be honest with you, just in terms of, what they're presenting. For a playoff game, that's just not necessary. Get
It's
to the
interesting,
location.
No shit.
The way the NHL works, though, because first round they can watch the local broadcast, right? They can watch the Blues games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't have to watch the national, which is crazy to me. If I was redoing the national deal, I'd be like, sorry, I understand you want the regional guys to do it, but like we're paying you this money. If they're watching the Blues, we want the people of St. Louis, that those 500,000 viewers, whatever the number is, like you watch TNT, you don't watch FanDuel, whatever the network's called down there right now.
But
so
don't try to take money out of our pocket though, Mike. We need to be working in the first round. Hey,
and he's got vacations to go on, damn it.
We should be working the second round and the third round too,
Yeah, but what you do is you provide the contextual stuff that national broadcasters can't bring to a local market. So you may not like in Canada it works this way. You may not call the game, but people will look to you to hear what's going on the team. And like off days, post games, pre games, you guys will know more about the Blues than anybody else. Anybody else. And so fans who want to know about what's going on with St. Louis, even if they don't get the game on your channel, like they don't in the second round, right? They won't get it there, but they'll still go to you to get the goods that only you guys provide.
Yeah, it doesn't pay the same between games. On Twitter, okay? You're asking me to tweet between games?
So,
you can tweet between games.
I got to defend Andy
I'm
on
not
that
fucking tweeting between games. I want to do the actual game and get paid.
That's funny.
But I hear what you're saying.
Hey, how much hockey, like when you're in the grind, like how much hockey are you watching? How many like full games? Are you just fucking sitting down and going for 6-7 hours when there's a big night of hockey going on? How do you do that?
It's a challenge though, isn't it? It gets legit a challenge. And I cover sort of specifically Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal. But I work at the NHL Network, so I do the radio show nationally. Like I cover the whole league.
Yes.
So it's a lot easier if you kind of just need to focus on a team or two. But like trying to grab 32 teams, I watch a lot. Like, my nights are spent from 8 to 12, 1, just flipping, clicking, phone, Twitter, X, like, seeing what's happening each game. Oh, a moment happened, find it, rewind it, watch it. Some of it's easy. Like if I'm working at the NHL Network, I'm in studio. It's all there in front of you anyways. Like it's being forced to you. But the hardest part about our job, and you guys feel the same, I'm sure, is that when the season starts, you jump on the treadmill because you're staying up, you're reading, you're researching, you're talking, and you don't ever really have a chance to get off until the season's over. Like there's no kind of like, oh, I'm going to take a week off here. You take a week off, feels like you missed everything to try to jump back in it. So for me, that's the hardest part. You get on the treadmill and you're going hard. Basically, the easiest part's the final because there's only one game going on. But up until then, it's a grind. Like it's a lot.
It's probably easier when you're in studio because you have enough stimulation to keep you awake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus being at home, all of a sudden, like you're going.
Daddy, come play with me.
You're going into the third period at 11:30 at night. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or
it's easy to like pack that one in for sure. But listen, I'm a night. I sleep during the day. Like I nap like still all the time. I'm like 50 years old, but I still nap like I'm playing like a 25-year-old. So I'm a night hawk. Like I stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning most nights, and that's just how the rhythm of my days go in the winter.
20-minute nap. That'll get you going. Who do you like? Like this Toronto-Ottawa series, I just feel like it's a different matchup for Toronto than maybe what they faced in recent years where they've lost in the first round. Maybe the opponent is a little bit different versus facing like a Boston, for example, or whatever. So not to say that it's easier against Ottawa, but they're playing against a less experienced team. They just look like they were on two different levels in game one. Do you expect it to stay like that? Can Ottawa truly get back into this and extend this series to 6 or 7?
Sure they can. For sure they can. Now, both things can be true. If you're going to be honest and you're being Toronto, would you rather play Ottawa or Tampa or Florida? Every single person in hockey would say, I'd rather play Ottawa. And that's not to be disrespectful to Ottawa. It's a compliment to the teams from Florida, right? So they are playing an easier road than they would have otherwise played had they not finished first. That's true. Ottawa is inexperienced. That's true. They showed that inexperience in the game one, chasing plays, taking bad penalties in the offensive zone. Goalie wasn't as good as the Toronto goalie. All those things you think will look different in game two. Goalie will be a bit better. They won't be running around so much. They won't take as many penalties. Doesn't mean they're going to win, but the game's going to feel way tighter. And Ottawa will talk about, we had our fair share of chances and shots at 5-on-5, and we can play most of the game that way. We'll be okay. I think Toronto will win the series, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think what we saw out of Ottawa in game one, that's not going to be reflective of what they show the rest of the series.
Listen, Marner, obviously, he just looks different. He's carrying himself different. I think the Four Nations, the attention he got from that, having success in that tournament probably did him some good. Who's the best player? Like, who's the most important player for Toronto? Because you look at Nylander too. Like,
two different words, though.
Yeah. Well, who's the most important player? Like, but you look at the core four. I don't want to say rank the core four because we all know Tavares probably wouldn't be, as high as the other three. But do you still put Matthews ahead of Nylander and Marner in terms of most important players on that team?
He's the best player. He's still the best player. So Austin Matthews fought injury the whole year. He disappeared to Germany to get some elaborate non-sanctioned treatment you can't get in North America. And he still played at a 40-goal, 94-point pace. That was his bad year. That was his off year. We're celebrating Mitch for the first time getting to 102, as we should.
Yeah.
But that was his best year. It was barely better than Austin's down year. And Willie, second league in goals with 45, he's incredible, and he does it on his own because he doesn't get to play with those guys at 5-on-5. But again, he had 85 points. Austin's their best player. Now, most important might be their goalie, but they got two pretty good ones now. Joseph Woll from St. Louis, also very good, but Stolarz is really good. But they could probably withstand an injury to one of those three guys I just mentioned easier than they could withstand having McCabe or Tanev out of the lineup. Not because McCabe or Tanev are better than them. It's that relative to the guys that are trying to do their job behind them.
Yeah.
They're better than them, right? Like they don't have the other guys that can do what Tanev and McCabe do. They got other guys who can kind of try to do what Marner does. His name's Nylander. So those two, getting McCabe back and sort of healthy for game one, those two as a shutdown pair with Berube as a coach, you guys know how he likes to coach. It changes the dynamic of the team, and it's so important for them going forward.
How was that Matthew Nyes? I mean, you saw him a lot this year. Big stud.
Beast.
Man.
Dude, Cam, he's built like you, but 7 inches taller. Like he is just...
And he's got good hair.
He does
have good hair. He's from Arizona, too.
Is he not Riggins from Friday Night Lights? He's
Riggins. He's special. Like, they must love him up there.
He's going to get such a big contract.
Yeah.
He's going to get such a big contract. Well, they all are because but like what makes him important, Cam, is that not only is he good, we know that, but he's different. He's different than the other best players. He imposes his will physically in a way that Matthews, Marner, Nylander, but they're not wired that way.
Yeah.
He's so good. I'm surprised though, Cam, because if you look at his track record, the most goals that Matthews Nyes has scored since his days in the USHL.
This year.
So talking about it's like 15 is like 20.
Yeah.
He's never scored. Even in college, playing with Logan Cooley, the best player in school at Minnesota, he got 21 his second year. That's not a big year. Jimmy Snuggerud just had 30, right? And the fact that he could put up 29 Matthew Nyes got this year, I didn't see this kind of offense out of him, but you watch it now, he is a freakazoid big guy. The guys just aren't built strong and heavy like that anymore. But he's still so young. He's an explosive skater. He's a significant difference maker for Toronto now.
He is he's a really good player. How do I put this? Like, he's got 58 points, 29 goals, right? I mean, you just mentioned the previous years of his hockey career. He's never shown to be a elite goal scorer. But, hey, to your point, sometimes in the NHL, right situation, playing with better players, you can put up, more impressive numbers. But how high of a contract are we talking? And does playing in Toronto help him? Will that help him make more money? Does that make him to be considered better than maybe he would be considered if he played in a quieter market?
I think undoubtedly, right? Like the media hype machine in Toronto runs hard. And when guys do well, they celebrate them incredibly. Now that's the perception. The Leafs organization, they don't fall victim to that. They assign appropriate value. You may not like the contracts they've given out, but they're not swayed by attention. Not the Leafs organization. But this is the thing. So if you think like a 30 goal scorer at 22 years old with 200 hits, kills penalties, plays in the first line, plays in the first power play. He led the team in ice time last night, Rantanens. He led the Leafs in ice time, first game. So that would be worth what? Cap going up rapidly. It's going to be worth 7 or more per year. And then if you want to go 8 years, well, when the cap's 140, 8 years from now, 7's not enough. So like this is the problem I think every team is going to have with young players. Like for Matthew Knies to get some of appropriate value, you can't sign him to $10 million now because that's crazy. But 4 years from now, a 35 goal scorer might be making $10 million. Like it's just the way it's going to go.
I hear you.
So
it's just I look at like Jake Neighbors last season had 27 goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
He missed the last 5 games of the season. I think he was out with an injury, and maybe he gets to 28, 29, 30. I mean, if he was playing with Matthews and these guys, if he was in Toronto, they'd be like $7-8 million. I mean, he signed a bridge deal for like 3.5 or something like that in St. Louis. It's just sometimes we get a little carried away. He's a really good player. I'd like to see him do it again. But, I mean, I guess if you feel comfortable, the player, why not lock him up for 8 years? I've got no issue with that.
I don't know. It's a tough dynamic. I'm with you 100%. Like, and I'm also like, hey, Matt, you've never done this before, Matty Knies. Like, you've never sniffed this before. And, like, what if Mitch Marner leaves?
Mm-hmm. Is he going to leave, you think? You think he's gone?
If they don't win 2 rounds, I think it's more likely than not he leaves. The contract's going to be there either way. It's going to be there in Toronto. It's going to be there in Anaheim, San Jose, Chicago, Montreal. All kinds of teams could give him $13 million a year or whatever he wants, $14 million a year. He'll get it somewhere. He'll get it, no problem. But I think if they lose the first round, there'll be major changes in Toronto for sure. But yeah, back to the Knies thing. Yeah, I'm with you. I would like to bridge him, give him like $18 million for 3 years.
Yeah,
and that's a bridge at 6. And if he gets it, and 3 years from now he's 25 and he's scoring 35, and I got to give him 10.
Yeah,
shit.
We'll sort that out when you get there.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what you do?
Yeah.
You give him like a deal that pays him 3, 6, 9. So he's getting qualified on 9.
Mm-hmm.
Give him some upside lock in, and then you're not killing. I don't know. It's a tricky one. Like Wyatt Johnston got to just sign in Dallas. He's an awesome player. He's better than Matthew Knies.
Yeah, he is.
Right?
Certainly.
And he signed for like 7 and change for like 7 or 8 years. Mm-hmm. So if I'm Toronto, I'm like, well, we're not paying you more than that guy. Right. But I also don't know if the new cap numbers came out when Johnson signed. Like that's the other part of it, the awareness that it's going up as fast as it is.
I just hear like $8 million from Matthew Knies. Listen, he's a really good player. I've watched him play in college a lot. Snuggerud was there, obviously, his freshman season. Mm-hmm. And they Brock Faber, they had an unbelievable team. They lost in the national championship game. He's had a breakout year. He's a hell of a player. So, obviously you play in a market like that, it's loud. You're going to get paid. There's no doubt.
Hey,
go ahead, Ken.
Well, what'd you think about this whole Carolina ordeal? We've had Eric Tulsky on the podcast. You see what Stankov is doing. Like, what would you make out of this whole thing with the Carolina Hurricanes?
So I see both sides of it. Like, I understand Carolina taking a blind swing. Like, they make the big trade for Rantanen without knowing or having an assurance that he would like to sign them. Like, I get them doing that because they're being aggressive. They're taking a big chance. And they allowed themselves enough time to sort of undo that swing by making the next trade. So I get it. But I'm just telling you, if I ran a team, I wouldn't be trading that kind of value package for a guy that I don't have a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or maybe an actual contract done saying, hey, you're going to come here. We'll give you the 8 years, $100 million you want. You'll love it. Like I wouldn't go in blind, and it felt like they went in blind.
Yeah.
So that part from the Carolina side, like I get the aggressiveness, and I should applaud your team for taking a swing, even though you don't know what's going to play out. But it seemed like a high risk move to make when you don't know, when they clearly were wrong. Like he didn't want to sign there. He wasn't sure if he wanted to sign there. So there's that. The other more perplexing part to me though, Cam, without knowing the intimate details of the Colorado Rantanen negotiation, how it ever got to the point where he was traded, stunning to me. Where he clearly has said, like he would have signed virtually whatever their best offer was going to be. He would have signed that. It might not have been more than 13 like he wanted. It might have been 50 grand less than McKinnon, whatever. He would have done it in the end. He would have done it. It's a great spot for him to play and live and career and all that. The fact that that broke down to me, that's a bad miss by the Rantanen camp. If that's what he wanted, and it's clear because he has said it, that's what he wanted, that's a bad miss. That's a bad handling of when it got to crunch time. Either they didn't believe Colorado would call their bluff and trade him, or they didn't explain to Rantanen that that might happen shortly. So maybe we should just take the $96 million that's on the table, whatever. And like that one to me, that's the bigger sort of head scratcher. How it ever got to that point in Colorado.
You know, sometimes you just wonder though, Mike, also because the Rantanen camp will tell you that the dialogue wasn't there. They tried to have communication, tried to have conversations. They felt like they were ignored, and there wasn't any urgency on the team's behalf to really get into some serious dialogue. You know, you just wonder how badly a team sometimes, how comfortable are they in extending a player for another 8 years? You know what I mean? When maybe you can utilize that money elsewhere and maybe put it into other players, other positions, whatever, you know? And how badly did the team really want to keep him? I think that's a fair question.
It's a fair question. And maybe they were sort of slow playing it and hoping that it got to this point, or hoping that it would break down and they could comfortably publicly say, you know what, he didn't take our last deal. We told him we were going to trade him. We traded him. Maybe. But again, if it's me, if it's my life when I'm ranting, like I almost just walk into Joe's office or McFarland's office, like, all right, listen, give me your best. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. And like, let me know it. And like, let's be real with each other. And if you think I'm going to age poorly and you only want to pay me $10 million, only want to pay me $10 million, well, tell me that and let me make an informed decision. And like the fact that they never sort of even got to that point, because there's a number Colorado would take them back at, clearly. It might not have been his number, but there was a number. Yeah, and you know, you're never quite sure without knowing the details. But again, it feels like it should have been sorted out to Rantanen's desire better.
No shit.
What do you think?
Because he still looks lost, don't you think? Like he's still looking.
I was
like,
going to ask you that.
He's
like,
not
how do you
totally with it?
Oh no,
I don't notice him that much.
No, we didn't notice him the other night against Dallas. You know, Stankoven obviously he stood out last year in Dallas. You know, and obviously it doesn't help the Rantanen camp when he scores 2 goals in his first playoff game with Carolina.
No
and,
shit.
You know, he just I like him and all. I thought he would actually be
is unbelievable.
Oh my God. Fast. I noticed
How happy do you think he is there?
Oh yeah,
I know.
Unbelievable there.
I thought Stankoven would actually play a bigger factor in the Calder conversation this year than he has. You know, so but you know he's a playoff player. You just look at the way that he plays. Hey, what about Winnipeg? You see Winnipeg. Is this their year? I mean, you got to figure out. It's at some, you know, you keep getting in. At some point, you're going to break through in the playoffs. Are they different this year, or do you see St. Louis really responding? And you know, game 2 is tonight, so this is going to come out tomorrow. So we'll see how it plays out tonight. But how do you see this series, and how do you look at the Jets?
So I think Winnipeg will really feel good about game 1 because they won game 1. Really controlled the second half of the game in a game where Connor Hellebuck wasn't that good. Like, I know Robert Thomas can we get Robert Thomas on and just tell him to shoot the puck more? Because he's got a wicked shot, but he never wants to use it.
Great wrist shot.
He's the new age Ryan Getzlaf. He can rip it, but never wants to. Just wants to pass it all the time.
Right.
Just shoot the puck. But anyways, even that shot, I'm like, given last year's playoff with Hellebuck, I'm like, that's not a good start. Like he was nowhere near that one. So the fact that Hellebuck wasn't rock solid and they still won. The fact that without Velarde, who's a really good player, who apparently was skating before game 2.
Yeah.
But in fact, without Velarde, the first line was really good again. Kyle Connor and Scheifele, that's good news for them. So I think they're sort of the same. I think St. Louis is probably a better matchup than Colorado because Colorado can't. St. Louis doesn't make the game quite as frenetic as Colorado can. Like it doesn't just start going up and down and up and down. That's not what St. Louis does well. Doesn't mean they're not good. They're really good. Just don't do it like Colorado does. And I think not being Colorado will help Winnipeg stylistically play good games against St. Louis. Now, they'll need Velarde and they'll need Ehlers because they won't get as much scoring without Ehlers on that second line. Like, it's just not Perfetti and Nemesnikov and Niederreiter don't do what Ehlers does with those guys. So that's got to be an issue, but I think the matchup is better. And Hellebuck's got to be better. Right? Like, Hellebuck wasn't good last year. He's going to win the Hart Trophy this year, guys. He's going to win the Hart.
Oh, he's going to win the Hart.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't think so?
It's not that I don't think so. I just, listen, it's interesting because whenever I see him play, like, he never stands on his head. He never plays great when I see him play.
Except for the 8 shutouts, the 47 wins, and the 2.0
numbers
that you don't see. Exactly. And then you look at his numbers and you're like, he plays every game. I think I read he had 27 games this year where he allowed either 0 or 1 goal against. I mean, it's unbelievable, his numbers. 4 Nations didn't stand out, got outplayed by Bennington. You go back to the 19 series, the Colorado series last year. It's like, I'm like, he's not Dominik Hasek. You know what I mean? Like, I look at some of these great goaltenders over the years. His reputation needs to be enhanced by getting it done in the playoffs, and you're just waiting for that to happen, you know?
Except the Hart is not voted for playoff performance.
I know.
But it will cloud your judgment in your thought of him, absolutely. Yeah. But
and this year you had one guy get the 50 goals, and
one guy 50 goals. Like in years past, we had 150 points, 100 assists, 140 points. And what did Kuch end up with? 125. And 37 goals only. Didn't get 40 goals even.
Right.
I think this is the right year for a goalie to win it, plus the numbers he put up. But you're right. Like, the bottom line is, if Winnipeg is going to be different this year, St. Louis will help them sort of not be as far from what they were in the regular season like they were last year. But they'll only be as good as he's going to. Like, he's their best player. Hellebuck has to be great. And it might not, respectfully, they might be able to beat St. Louis with a solid Hellebuck. They will not beat Colorado or Dallas with a solid Hellebuck. He'll have to be great Hellebuck. Yeah. So that test, if they get through St. Louis, the real test will be him next round.
Yeah. Waiting for his playoff moment.
Yes, he needs one. He totally needs one. Hey, can I ask you, though, as far as upsets are concerned, and again, this is coming out tomorrow, so all y'all out there, shut up. Montreal and Washington. Does Montreal have a chance to beat Washington? Washington's been so up and down. It's been an OV. Like, I don't know where they are mentally in that locker room. No one expected them to be that good this year. Can Montreal beat them?
They celebrated the last 2 weeks.
They've been celebrating like they won the fucking cup. Like, it's the emotional roller coaster stuff to deal with. Can they reset? Can Montreal win?
It depends on how much stock you put into Montreal's good finish and Washington's bad finish.
Yeah.
And like, that's hard to sort of gauge because the OV thing was so uniquely, like, no other team would go through that. Dallas struggled down the stretch, but they weren't having a guy breaking all, like, they just were struggling, right? Washington had a reason to be distracted. There wasn't just a lack of focus or disinterest. Montreal's got one of the best lines in the league. That Suzuki, Caulfield, Slafkovsky line. I think at 5-on-5, when the 3 of them were on the ice together, they scored more goals than any other line in the league.
Wow.
Including Kucherov, Point, and Gensel, including Scheifele and Connor. Like, they were the most productive goal-scoring line. I think Montembeault may have to channel a little bit Yaroslav Halak from whatever that year was, 09, 010, or whatever they got when they upset them. I think they have a chance if Washington lingers. But I think Washington will be able to recalibrate. I think they're just so big and strong and good in front of the net offensively. Montreal is better, but they're not great in front of their own net. They're not, like, and I just think you put what Washington does well against Montreal, it should work. So long as the goaltending doesn't make it in favor of Montreal, I think Logan Thompson's going to play. So apparently he's first one off the ice before game one for them. So as long as the goaltending equals out, I still think Washington will be able to right the ship and get it done.
Yeah, there were some question marks there in terms of if he would be ready to go. So that's great news for Washington, no doubt. The Florida Tampa Bay series.
Oh boy.
Which the winner of that series is going to be waiting for Toronto if they get past Ottawa. That's going to be the real test for Toronto. I'm curious how they look because even watching Toronto-Ottawa last night and then following that up with Vegas and Minnesota, it just looked like two different levels of hockey. Just the Vegas, they were so impressive last night with Minnesota. Kaprizov, who's unbelievable, by the way. This guy would be a Hart Trophy candidate if he didn't get hurt. He's so damn good, just controls the game. We'll get into him, but Tampa and Florida. Is Tampa back to where they were a couple years ago for you? Are they a heavyweight, true elite contender once again?
Yeah, big time. I think their goal differential was like plus 76.
Something crazy, yeah.
Like second or third in the whole league. Like huge. An underreported story has been the return to form of Vasilevsky, who will likely be second in the Vezina. Obviously, Hellebuyck's going to win that, but like he's back being great after a couple of years post back surgery where he was just good. Mm-hmm. That's big difference. I think clearly Tampa made the right call on Gensel over Stamkos. Like that was a great call to bring back McDonough and bring in Gensel. They brought in Gord, who's fit in well. Like they're good. They're really good again. They should be the favorite against Florida. I think Florida, the thing they have going for them is that they won last year, so they have that credibility. How good can Matthew be? Like we know Matthew is a uniquely gifted player and personality character to bring that skill in tough spots. He's missed 2 months.
Yeah.
Now Matt's game is not based on skating, which is good. It's based on making plays in around the net. So once he gets down around there, you think it should come back quickly, but Tkachuk, no Ekblad for 2 games, which might be enough of a difference. Like it's going to be a tight series. You're taking a great player off their roster. Tampa is legit excellent. I don't know. That's why no one wanted that series. Like that's why you don't want to play in it because it's like Dallas, Colorado, but in the East. It's like Stanley Cup caliber teams. Someone's going home. And as far as Vegas goes, Andy, the reality is the West is miles better than the East this year.
It is, yeah.
It's just the reality. 96 points missed in the West. 96. Calgary didn't get in with 96. Like, if you were to run down the top 5 Stanley Cup favorites, top 10, whatever, before the playoffs started, how many would come from the East? Florida and Tampa maybe would come in the top 8. I don't think Wash would be put in there. Like, you would put Winnipeg, Colorado, Dallas, Vegas, probably Edmonton.
Edmonton, yeah.
Right? Like LA, you might not believe they're going to win the whole thing. Right. And then, you would have St. Louis ahead of Jersey or ahead of Montreal or ahead of Ottawa. Like if they were to play head to head, you'd take St. Louis in those series. So the West is harder, which is why maybe if you're in the East this year, if you're Toronto or Tampa or Washington, you got to take advantage.
Yeah.
It's set up well for you.
This is your year.
I don't know if I'd count out LA though, man. I
have LA beating Edmonton. Yeah. I picked them to beat Edmonton the first round.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Yeah. It's just curious. It's just the McDavid factor is just obviously such
overwhelming.
Yeah. No doubt. Hey, but Minnesota though, I'm curious your take on Kaprizov as a whole. Like this guy is just he's one of the best kept secrets in the NHL, even though he's not a secret by any means. People just don't put him in that Kucherov category. He's so damn good. What'd you think of the Bulliam kid, his first ever NHL game? He's on the ice in a lot of key situations. Is it too much, too fast for these kids coming out of college? I mean, you look at his path to get to the NHL. He's played in so many big games, NCAA champion, gold medal, World Juniors, NTDP, all of that. So maybe they're better prepared for it. But how do you think that impacts the rest of the team when they see him on the ice, taking up maybe somebody else's ice time? Critical situations, turns pucks over a little bit. It's a tough spot to be put in. I'm just curious your take on these college kids coming in right away and taking on big-time roles. Not like they all do, but he certainly did.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was that, not on a bad team, but I was a college kid who stepped into a lineup and bumped a guy out of the lineup, and that guy's pissed off, right? And that's normal. But this is the playoffs. And if you're good enough that the team believes you helped them win, then me, the guy who's getting scratched in lieu of you, probably pissed off. Everyone else is like, yeah, okay. Like, you prove it that you're helping us, you're good.
Yeah.
The other part about Zeev is that he is not short on confidence.
No.
Like the idea that I might have been sort of shy stepping into a playoff game, but he's not. Like, he's wired to like, nah, I'm okay. So you don't have to worry about him there, perhaps. And the other thing is on Minnesota, they don't have necessarily a dynamic offensive defenseman. Like Brock Faber, I guess, is their best guy. Spurgeon used to be it.
Right.
Now Faber's good. I'm not saying he's not. He's very good. But it's not that you're taking Makar off the blue line.
Right.
You're not taking Quinn Hughes off the blue line. You're like, okay, you're going to play in the power play, which you probably should play him there. Because if he's going to be in the lineup, it's not to play at the end of a period when it's tied. It's not to kill penalties or match up against the other team's best lines. It's to play in offensive situations. That's where it's natural for him. In that sense, like I think it's that if I'm coaching him, if I'm going to dress him, I'm going to try to find places to put him where he's going to be most comfortable. And the last part about it, you guys know this with Snuggerud. I know it myself. If you want the kid to sign, and these teams want them in their organization, you have to promise them that they're going to play.
Right.
And like, you may not like that. It might be unfair. You wish it wasn't the case. But then you run the risk if you don't, he goes back to school. He plays one more year. He's going to go turn pro and play whenever he wants. Like you're balancing that motivation as well. So there's probably some promises made to get in the lineup for Z for sure for turning pro.
Yeah, and they drafted Z to be, he's their version of Makar and Quinn Hughes. He's going to be their guy. That's why they brought him into the organization. But, there's got to be, and I know it's the playoffs, but you want to get him in there and get that experience too. I mean, once you have him, I mean, he's got to be nervous. It's his first game, obviously. He's not going to be perfect, but.
You see both sides of it, right? Like you see a team saying, well, let's go with the guys who got us here because they've been here all year. Mm-hmm. But you're like, how much better or worse of a chance do we have to win by slotting out, I don't even know who they sat out in lieu of Zibuim, right? Like you take out that sixth defenseman and put him in there. Like how much is the upside worth the potential incremental downside? Probably is for Minnesota.
What was more of a disaster season and more drama filled? Vancouver Canucks or the New York Rangers this year? Oh, god dang.
That's juicy.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like Vancouver.
Yeah. Feels
because
like
it played out so publicly.
Yeah.
Their media's louder there. Their media's louder there too, even though it's New York,
And like what in the time, we didn't talk to you guys then, but like when it came out that Miller and Pettersson didn't get along. And you remember Pettersson came out and said, it's all bullshit, whatever he said, right? Like it's all garbage. And then Miller came out and said, we can do it together. We have no problem with each other. They were lying through their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Lying through their teeth at that moment. Like, and I get why they did. I'm not criticizing them for saying it, spinning it that way. But clearly, they were lying. There was a problem. There is a problem. The fact that it just became so public and then affected everybody. Like, it didn't just affect the two guys. It affected Quinn Hughes, Rick Tocchet, everybody was. So it feels like Vancouver was the answer. Although the other part, the Rangers surprised me in that it felt like their problems stem from last summer when they traded Barclay Goodrow. The room was bothered by how Goodrow was treated when they made him waive his no trade, otherwise going to go on waivers. Then they did it again for Trouba. And it feels like the room was really bothered. And I have, as an observation, it's surprising that a professional sports room would be so bothered for so long by what is hard, but legal business sports dealings. Rangers didn't break any rules. They just said, listen, if you're not going to waive your no trade, we'll put you on waivers. Sucks, but you're allowed to do it, right? If you don't want that to happen, get a no move. Don't get a no trade. So it's weird that the Rangers seem so bothered by that for basically an entire season.
Who's the best team in the league? Who's your Cup favorite?
Who is your Cup favorite?
I just made my picks. I had Vegas beating Toronto.
Okay.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Vegas is like, it's amazing to say, Vegas is quietly, when does Vegas do anything quietly? But
This year
Vegas has
they were,
quietly gone
yes.
around being excellent.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Because people are used to it. They just see him year after
Every
year
year.
after year. It's the same
And they
thing.
didn't make a big swing. They didn't go get a massive player at the deadline like they have years past. So it's like, oh, you got Riley Smith back. And yet now I see Riley Smith on every highlight scoring goals.
You got
Can't
Brandon
score ever
Saad.
anywhere else.
You got
Brandon Saad, who needs a
Yeah.
haircut badly.
Oh my God. Saad,
Seriously,
cut your
Samson,
hair.
cut that thing. But I got, I mean, I think their path is good. It's the Central is a monster. You know, I have them beating Colorado in the conference final. But
Yeah.
if Colorado wins, I'm like, yeah, I get that. You know, like it's no real upsets there, but I have Vegas winning the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Are you surprised with any of the firings? I mean, Anaheim, you know, they fired their coach.
Yeah.
I felt like the players and the coach, there was just a serious disconnect for quite some time. I was surprised
rumblings.
Pat Verbeek came out and said we expect to be in the playoffs next year. I don't know if Anaheim's ready to take that jump into next year, maybe the year after that. Maybe you disagree with me, but we'll see what changes they make this summer. But certain teams need certain types of coaches, don't they? You know, to fit the personality of the team.
Big time. And clearly the Cronin personality, which is old school,
Yeah.
terse, stern, whatever adjective you want to use. He's not warm and fuzzy by any stretch, right? And I think it was the year-end meetings, exit meetings of 2024, where I think the players sort of expressed that. Like, you know, we don't love how our day-to-day operations feel, whatever that means. But I look at this year, and I think Cronin was encouraged to maybe try to change and do some things differently. But this year, you look at Mason McTavish had a really good year. And you look at what Leo Carlson has become.
Yeah.
Cutter Gauthier had a nice year.
Great
Defend
finish,
Jackson
yeah.
Lacombe has been really good. Olin Zellweger, Dostal, like the guys have gotten better this year. And the team's gotten better under Cronin's watch. So my thought is twofold. One, rarely does the coach that takes you from garbage to like mediocre get to finish the journey from mediocre to competitive. Right? Like they kind of stop off. Thank you for your service. You've taken us now. We're good. We're going to bring in someone else to take us all the rest of the way. And maybe this is just the time to bring that. We want to make the playoffs next year philosophy. That guy's not there anymore. We're going forward. There's that. And there's the idea that this new, young, schoolish group of players don't resonate with Cronin and vice versa. And for them to grow and to get better, you got to stop that now. You got to get a different voice that's going to have a different dynamic. Doesn't mean Cronin's not a good coach, just maybe not the right coach for that group.
Yeah. Well, they hyped up so many guys there in Anaheim too. You know what I mean? When they first came.
Well,
into the
Trevor, I mean, Zegras was like the face of the league for a couple of years, and he hasn't probably gone exactly the way he wanted to.
No.
You know, but I would think that Anaheim feels like an attractive job.
Yeah,
Like they have
I would
pretty good
agree with
players.
you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They got
Take
cash
that
faith out the wazoo, and it's a great place to live and play. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're David Carl, like if he's going to get a monster contract offer out of Denver, to pull him out of Denver, Chicago, New York, Anaheim, like you take your pick. Like, I don't know. You can make a case for each one of them.
Hey, what do you think we're going to be saying about Connor Bedard in 5 years from now? Generational superstar?
Yeah. What
That's a
level
good
is he
question.
Or is he just a
at? What is he?
really good player, maybe an all-star occasionally?
See Kyle Connor?
That's a
It's a high bar.
Kyle Connor in Chicago.
Kyle Connor's the quietest,
Yeah, he's in Winnipeg and
elite,
hidden though.
you know, sniper in the league who can't even make the lineup for Team USA in the championship game.
Got to scratch him to get guys out there for 3 minutes. No, I mean, I think you're gonna see more from Connor Bedard as the team gets better. I mean, he still had close to a point a game. Like, I think you'll say he's a gifted scorer, point producer. Is he a generational player? I just don't know if he skates well enough, guys. He's not that fast.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously incredible. Like, we're nitpicking at greatness.
Great shooter.
But
yeah.
But if you're going to be like one of the all-timers, Like, you got to be able to get there all the time. Game's not going to get slower. And if you're 20 and not fast, what do you mean when you're 27? You'll get faster. So I think this next 2 years will tell us. If he commits to changing his body, gets more explosive, maybe works on his skating, the other stuff is there, but the skating isn't. That's the question to me that will hold him back from being Hall of Famer versus just like, maybe just a star player that's really good.
And you feel more comfortable about Celebrini that he'll be a superstar?
He won't score as much points as Bedard. I don't think he'll score as many points, but he might be a better player. It's like, is Jonathan Toews a better player than Patrick Kane? You tell me.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Depends how you want to look at it. Like, Patrick Kane's going to the Hall of Fame. Toews will probably go in the Hall of Fame too. But
yeah,
like Celebrini is like Toews, but he might even be better offensively than Toews was. Who knows? Toews might play again. Maybe.
He didn't put that many points up. If you look at his points, like he didn't. I think he get to 90. I don't know.
Who's that?
Toews?
Yeah.
I don't think he had one in the high 80s. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
Did he ever score 40?
Toews? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think he did either.
I don't know. I'd say probably Patrick Kane.
We'll get into, listen, a few more things and we'll let you go, man.
Yeah,
Lane Hudson, were you surprised that this kid
so good
all of a sudden looks like he could be on the path towards being on the level of a Hughes, Makar? Maybe not as good as Makar and whatever, but he's going to be a mega point producer for a long, long time.
I'm stunned, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. We all know. We watch guys, like, you get that. Oh, he's always been great. Oh, in college he piled up points. It was not college anymore. Like, you don't always get to translate what you did before to the next level. At some point, most players bump into a level where, like, oh, I can't quite do what I did before.
Exactly.
And the fact that he's 5'9", but it's not the 5'9". It's the fact that he might be 155 pounds. Like, he's so slight. He's he's that size. Like, he's just so slight.
I know. Like,
how can you be good enough to get to the spots that you need to go to be successful? He's such a dynamic little jitterbug skater. Like, I don't even know if he's fast, but he's just quick and he's just fearless. I'm stunned, Andy. I didn't see it coming. I covered him in the World Junior. Like, I've seen him do things at the previous level. I didn't think he could do it. He just tied Larry Murphy, right? Most assists all time.
I know.
By a rookie from a guy who played in the 70s. They don't do that in the 2025s. I thought he might be effective, but nothing like this. Like this.
I just watched his brother Cole in the Frozen Four.
I watched him in the World Juniors.
And
he might be better.
You've watched him in the... Exactly. This guy, like, he's all over he's the F1 on the forecheck. Like,
he's bigger.
Then he's the first guy
Shoots
back.
Better.
It's amazing watching that kid play.
And Washington now has Ryan Leonard, who just turned pro.
Yeah.
They got Cole. I get their names mixed up. Cole Hudson, it looks like he's the real deal for sure, who's also 6 feet tall somehow. And they got this, Andrew Cristall out in the WHL at 150 points this year. All are Washington picks for that team that's still going to get better. But yeah, like, I would see what Lane did. And if I'm Cole or Washington or BU, I'm like, you can play in the NHL, man, because you have that same wiring. Maybe not exactly the same kind of player, but yeah, like, he was like the best player in the tournament, the World Junior tournament, as a defenseman.
Amazing.
He's crazy good.
How much do you love the World Juniors doing that every year?
It's the best.
Do more people tell you they see you on the World Juniors than they would like a random TSN Wednesday night, Tuesday night, whatever night you're doing?
Yeah, World Juniors, especially in Canada. I mean, it's a big deal. And now I was fortunate, right? The first one I did as the main analyst was the summer one when Mason McTavish pulled the puck out of the air off the goal line, and then Ken Johnson went. So it was like a massive moment. And then the next year I did, the first one at Christmas, was Bedard's. And it's almost like he saved that tournament because, we know what's going on with Hockey Canada and all that stuff. And it was such a celebration. I'm like, I don't know if I can ever get better than what I just got. 2 overtime Canada wins in my first 2, but it's even on the American team, they've won the last 2. It's an amazing tournament to watch the talent and the drama. Always drama. We're gonna be in Minnesota next year. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Have you spent time with David Carl? Like, do you get time with the coaches and stuff? I'm just curious what you're...
We do, but 2 years ago, so when it was in Sweden, it was Gothenburg, Sweden, his first year that I dealt with him, he was more serious. Like, kind of like, we'd like, it'd be an exhibition game between him and Canada. There's like, Gabe Perreault and I are shooting the breeze 10 minutes before the ice. Like, just, it's not Stanley Cup final game 7, it's exhibition game. He'll answer your question or maybe not even answer. He's like, I don't know about my lineup. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not going to tweet it. I just want to know so I can prepare for what's going on.
It's an exhibition game.
I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't care. I just want to know so I can be organized. But he was very, very serious. Didn't give you anything extra. Last year, much more open, much more sort of accommodating and smart guy. Smart guy. And he's so young. I mean, if you don't know the story, he was going to get drafted.
Yeah.
They discovered a heart ailment during his physical before the draft. So they didn't draft him. Well, they did. They picked him with the last pick. Tampa did because his brother, Matt Carl, part of Tampa's organization. And he turned right to coaching, which is why he's so accomplished and he's 35.
Yeah,
man. So, to be able to relate to the young players because he's so young himself is a real asset for him.
Yeah,
pretty cool. Pretty cool story.
Listen, we could have talked for another
MJ,
hour,
the man,
MJ.
dude.
We appreciate it, man. We've
You're
been
the
wanting
man,
to get you on, and it was good timing,
Pick
actually.
that big brain of
that
yours.
it worked out now with the playoffs going on and everything. So, all the best. When do you head over to the Worlds? Where are the Worlds this year?
I have 3 weeks in Stockholm coming up.
Oh, that's cool. Is that cool?
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Where's your favorite place to go that you've been?
In the world?
Yeah.
To watch hockey?
No, to work hockey. Yeah.
Yeah, to work.
Prague was incredible.
Oh, I bet.
Prague was, and Czechs won in overtime that year, so that was incredible.
Prague's cool.
Stockholm's pretty good. No, I'd probably say Prague. Prague is a pretty neat city. So yeah,
You're
I'll
not
be
going
over there.
to Fiji.
In 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow.
We need Russia back in. I don't want to get political. I'm not even getting political, but even seeing the kid come into Montreal and whatever.
Yeah.
I love watching these kids in the World Juniors and everything before they show up in the National League.
The one World Championship I played in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Beautiful.
So it was an amazing city. So hopefully the world gets itself to a place where it's okay for those guys to participate and it won't be a big deal.
There it is, baby.
I agree.
There it is.
All right, MJ.
MJ, the man, dude.
All the best.
See you, buddy.
We'll see you soon.
We'll talk soon.
Great talking to you.
All right, homie.
See you, Mike. The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy,
Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Mike Johnson. Listen, he's made a great career for himself.
God, yeah.
You know that?
He's really good at what
Very
he does.
respected.
So smart.
Television analyst. He
Smart,
says
man.
things that make me think.
No
and
doubt.
I'll tell you this, there's not many people that do that.
I know.
There's a lot of people who tell you what you already know.
Mm-hmm. They
And
just other people's
They
stuff.
regurgitate everybody else's stuff.
Yep.
He has his own opinions, his own thoughts, and he tells you stuff that you just... We're like, wow, I didn't think of that.
Didn't think of that. Interesting. You're an interesting guy. I like the way you think.
It's
Outside the
interesting.
box. He's not afraid to call people out.
No.
Not that he does. He does it in a very professional way.
Very confident.
But he's not he doesn't sugarcoat bullshit.
No.
He's like, no, this guy needs to do this.
Your
or
thoughts
blah,
on
blah,
his your thoughts on his hair?
Handsome. When I first saw him when he played for the Blues, I'm like, this guy is a handsome son of a bitch. He didn't really talk to me much. Maybe I was annoying. I know he was banged up and he was hurt, so I didn't really I kind of wanted to hang with him.
Yeah, he didn't get hurt.
Women would stare at him at the restaurants. I'm like, yeah, that's when you know you got it pretty good.
Really?
Not that they knew who he was. I watch him walk by to go to the bathroom. Not that he even did anything. But girls they look at him. They kind of look at each other like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
Enjoy the games tonight. Don't forget. Look for an extra piece. We'll have more content coming tomorrow.
Andy and I, baby, we're gonna try to stay current. On everything
because it's hard, man. We want to keep the podcast coming out when you expect it to be coming out, but we don't want you to miss out.
I know
on analysis from specific games that are taking place tonight.
It's hard to chase.
It's the playoffs. It is what it is.
We love you guys.
Firstform.com/Chemistry. Get the creatine. You can be big and strong like me.
Yeah.
Start using creatine.
Yeah.
I saw a police video. I like watching these videos where they pull people over and stuff like that. And these kids were going 140. They stole their mom's car, an Audi, 140 miles per hour. They could have just gotten a ticket. Instead, they went on this long chase, and they found all this stuff in the car. And the guy was like, "That's the Creighton." They thought it was like drugs.
Just remember that.
It was Creighton. It's like, no, it's creatine.
Just remember these kids drive fast.
Yes, they do.
Always know who's driving Chloe around.
Oh, shit.
That motherfucker.
Oh, my God.
You better go and smell his fucking car.
Really?
God, yeah.
What am I smelling it for?
See what's in there. See what's going on. Take a look inside.
Yeah, what do you have in here?
What do you got in your console?
Where are you guys
smoking?
going?
You drinking? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
How fast are you going?
Smoking?
I'm going to smoking, drinking, shooting, snorting. You could be doing all four of those things.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Find out what's best for you and let us know. I put my flavor of the month, my energy drink on my Instagram the other day.
I wish you would have brought one of those in here because I didn't.
Oh, you didn't bring one? I could have brought one for you.
I needed one. Well, anytime I ask you to do anything, although you're still at home, you would never even.
I would bring that for you.
You would never even bring that in.
Boltsports.ca.
I can't do it.
Improve your stick handling and do it today with the dangle bar.
Dangle bar. I like that.
I love that, man.
I wanted the dangle in your basement, and you rejected me like
time,
some
dude.
chick at a.
Dude, I'm like walking out. I was like, you got to admit,
I was on the
phone. I was on the phone with somebody.
I didn't want to just come and grab a fucking thing. I want to fucking
hang. I had to go to practice. I had to record
15 minutes. We could have just hung out.
I know. A lot of stuff going on.
If you went to my house, though.
Boltsports.ca. Hook yourself up and take your game to the next level. And do it today. True Float, TRU, float. Get yourself the heated chairs and get yourself the coolers.
Them coolers. And drink
with
them
your
coolers
logo on it.
Killer.
See, send your logo.
It's awesome.
Check out their website.
Yeah.
Their Instagram page, True Float, TRU Float, because I think they've got some images there of a couple of coolers they made with our logo on it, too.
And they look really good.
They're amazing.
I told you it was out in my garage for three and a half days, and there's ice still in there, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
JerseyGenerator.com. You can get the home or you can get the road.
Look how cute Andy and I look here. Go on YouTube and look us up on YouTube, by the way. Follow us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, you can see these jerseys, how bright they are. They're
oh, my
awesome.
God. They look great on camera.
Andy, these are beautiful.
Andy10 or Cam10. Use the promo code that you want to use.
These jerseys look fantastic, dude. They really
hatlaunch.com. Get yourself some hat. #1 source for customized hats in America.
Some Cam and Strick hats, baby.
Hat Launch, baby.
Let's go.
Illinois Recovery Center.
Right there in Swansea, Illinois.
There's
Badass.
a bed waiting for you.
Yep. A nice big bed. And Chrissy and Eric and Jacob, they love you and they're going to help you. They're different than everybody else. That's why everybody goes there. Illinois Recovery Center. Those are my people, just so you know.
My people, too.
Yeah, but I know them. Just so people know. Like, this is, I know those motherfuckers.
Tell Chrissy
I know them.
And Eric that
we love them.
I'd like to come out and talk.
They're actually good people.
I'd like to come out and
talk.
Like,
if I called Andy and said, God, I got things going on, my mom's having, he's just going to tweet. If I called Chrissy or Jacob or Eric, are you kidding?
Are you? What do you need?
What do you need? I'll come get you. What do you need? Listen, okay, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
And he's like, like, good God.
Blue Note Roofing, baby. David Novak. He'll take care of you, too.
He'll talk about hockey with you.
314-920-5713. Get that siding, get that roof, gutters, soffit, fascia.
Yeah, baby. Get it done and get it done now.
Fascia.
We got Starms are still coming. Starms are still coming.
Cam at Bellman, you get
Swinging Dicks. Told you that 1,000,000 goddamn times. 1,000,000 times. None.
Buick,
Zero.
GMC at one side of the street, but you do get sushi and flavored water.
People think that's funny. That's a type B joke is what that is.
Can I give Kevin Dewey a shout out because he made us a song?
Is it a heavy metal one?
Yeah, you like that song?
I like the shorter version.
Are we going to play it?
We'll tell Maddie to put it in the intro and see if people like it. The
Yeah.
shorter one.
So listen to this song. Tell us if you like it. We'll mix it up. Will made us the rap song. We're just going with a different genre for a little bit.
And it is AI, by the way. So it's not like a real rapper and stuff like that. So
no, I think he was a real rapper.
No. This is AI, dude.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why we could play it on YouTube. Yeah, and it says the lyrics too.
Let's go.
Yeah. Badass.
Cam's a shit kicker too. Soul dragon coolers, no time for fatigue. And he's a shit talker, stirring up the show. Never played a shit,
but he's ready to go.
Yeah.
No filter, no fluff, hit record and go.
Hit record and go, baby.
Get your mind right and enjoy the show.
Yeah. Andy, that's the funniest. What's to say? Toe drags and buck talk. Anyway, we're gonna play that at the beginning. Maddie, is that cool? We put that bad boy in. It should take 2 seconds.
All right, baby.
We'll take the rap song out. We love all y'all.
Mike Johnson for joining us.
We got some unique stuff. We're gonna be out. Check out YouTube. Check out all our social media. Follow us on everything. Follow us on YouTube too. Comment on YouTube. Ask us questions. I'll get on there and fucking talk to you. And we're gonna be on tomorrow too. We're gonna break down some more of these games. And we got a bunch of new
Bellman, baby.
We got a bunch of guys coming on too. So.
Buick GMC, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Cam's looking at that pink Jeep, small wheels, 2-door, soft top. Nothing wrong with that. Flames on the side. It's all good.
I thought we were wrapping up the show.
Let's go. Mike Johnson, we appreciate him. Enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs. Extra Cam and Strick overtime. Look for it on YouTube and everywhere you get your podcast, baby.
Yerk! Let's go! Cam's a shit kicker, 2 bombs in the lead. Soul Dragon Cougars, no time for fatigue. And he's a shit talker, stirring up the show. Never played a shift, but he's ready to go. Mic check, 4 check.